There we go. We're live. All right. Awesome. Okay. We do have one person who's going to be arriving late. That's okay. We didn't want to hold up too much longer before we got started because we're going to try and end at about 4 o'clock Eastern today if we're able to. I think we can. Today, in today's Learn to Play Fate, we're going to be playing the game Tachyon Squadron. Okay, so in Tachyon Squadron, the universe is in trouble. You take your stand against the overreaching arms of the Dominion of Unity. You stand up against piracy and lawlessness. You ensure that all members of the Draconis system enjoy peace and prosperity. So everyone here today has decided to join the Tachyon Squadron arm of the Draconis Volunteer Group. You're going to engage in interstellar combat. You're going to steer your ship amongst the stars, and you're going to join your fellow fighter pilots in a quest for danger, glory, and victory. So Tachyon Squadron is a Fate Core supplement that blends space opera and military science fiction. So Tachyon Squadron itself requires Fate Core to play. If you have a preference for Fate Condensed or Fate Accelerated, you can blend all of those things together. Fate is one system that's a toolkit, but it's written specifically. It says that Fate Core is the supplement that it goes with. So you can either get Fate Core or use the Fate SRD to find those rules. So back when I think it was like a month or two ago, I kind of started planning out the Learn to Play Fate sessions, and I wanted to play some different Fate games. I reached out to Clark and Amanda Valentine. They're the team behind Tachyon Squadron. Clark is kind of like the author of it, and Amanda edited it. It's really kind of their brainchild, as well as some other hard-working people at Evil Hat Productions. I reached out to them to see if they would actually, one or both of them would like to join our game today. Sadly, they had to decline. The reason that they had to decline was that Amanda Valentine was diagnosed with cancer. And they wouldn't have the time because they're focusing all of their energies kind of inward and with their families. So because of that, I actually made a $60 donation to the American Cancer Society in the Valentine family name. And so today, if any of you are watching, if you've got an extra $5, make a donation to the American Cancer Society today. So I'd like to start with with introductions with our pronouns. So like my name, for instance, is Randy Oast. I go by Amazing Rando online, and my pronouns are he, him. Craig, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Craig Hatler. My pronouns are also he, him. I'm going to update my my name here in Zoom to reflect.
Thank you. All right. Christopher, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Chris Lafferty, and I go by he, him.
Excellent. And Henry.
I'm Henry Baker. I also go by he, him.
Yes, and Henry is actually joining us from across the pond over in England. So, so he is a long-distance gamer. Thank goodness for the internet, right? We've got one more person who's going to be joining us late. Whenever they join us, we're just going to roll them right in. We'll have them introduce themselves and get things going. So, so the very first thing that we need to do is make sure that everybody is in roll 20. Right now, I see that myself and Henry and someone who is No Man, I don't know which one. Okay. So, Craig, are you headed over to roll 20?
Yes, I just hit launch.
Okay. Sounds good. So in roll 20, Evil Hat Productions has been doing an amazing job of putting together these like roll 20 scenarios and things. If you watched any of the other Learn to Play Fate games, for the most part, I use Fari because I can spin things up really quickly. And I decided for this session, since I was playing Tachyon Squadron and Evil Hat had a Tachyon Squadron kit, that I would spin it up and give it a go. I'm being honest, I am not the biggest Roll20 fan, but I want to give it a whirl today and see how it goes. I know that Fred has been working on the Fate character sheet in Roll20, and all the videos that I've seen that Sean has been putting together, Sean Nittner over there, make it look amazing. The first thing that we have to do today is we have to choose our characters. We are going with pre-generated characters. And there are 6 pre-generated characters. There's Gunner, Augur, Nails, Squid, Knock, and Thermic. Okay, so prior to today's game, I asked everyone to kind of take a look at the character sheets to see if anyone had any preferences. If you didn't have the time, that's okay. You can take the time now. But did anybody, like, any characters call out to certain people?
I was interested in playing Nails.
Nails? All right, I'm going to open up Nails. Let's take a look at. Oh, nope, that did not open up the character sheet for Nails. Let's go to Roll20. Everybody who is streaming at home can see all of the GM stuff, so that'll be fun. Seraphim Nails Decano. Um, why don't you tell me a little bit about Nails? Like, what are his aspects there, Craig?
Okay, so he is a former Dominion spaceborne infantry out for redemption. He was born in the Dominion, and circumstances in the course of the war have brought him over to, let's see, so he was at one point in time a Marine, so he has seen both ground combat, and he has an affinity before he joined the military, he had an affinity for flying, so he took the opportunity to become a fighter pilot when it first became available.
Cool.
As far as his aspects go, his high concept is former Dominion spaceborne infantry out for redemption. His methods of decompression are pool shark / heavy drinker, which typically go hand in hand. He has a relationship to Knock. Knock is a stand-up lady. He also has a relationship to Augur. Augur is going to get somebody killed. And his other aspect is augmented reality glasses for hearing. So he has a significant, I guess you would call it an accessibility need for something to make up for hearing loss in almost both of his ears. So his AR glasses, they translate the visual spectrum, the audio spectrum into a visual medium so that he can see sound, and
Okay.
he translates spoken language into words. So he basically has closed captioning on all the time. He also
It's the
uses
dream.
and he also uses he can lip read, and he can also sign as well.
That is phenomenal. That's awesome. I like Nails. Nails is pretty cool. I read about the augmented reality glasses for hearing, and I thought that was pretty baller. One thing I want to point out here, I've got his character sheet open. Unlike other Fate games where there's a trouble aspect, in Tachyon Squadron, the trouble aspect is represented by decompression. And so what this is like the downtime, like how you recharge your batteries. And everybody's decompression aspect is really two aspects in one. One of them is a healthy, we're going to put air quotes around healthy way of like decompressing. Like for instance, pool shark, that's pretty healthy. Um,
Yeah.
but the other half of that for Nails is heavy drinker, and that's a little bit darker. A little bit more of a vice to go with a kind of. It's not really a virtue playing a pool shark, being a pool shark, but that's generally what the decompression aspect. That's why there's that slash, that either or. So playing Nails is excellent. I believe that you should have full control of the character sheet. If you need to make any edits to the character sheet, please feel free to do so. This Roll20 like scenario that we're in is just for us. So, for instance, whenever it comes to like the relationship aspects where it says Knock and Augur, you can edit those aspects if you want to put in another player's name so that you remember who is playing Knock and who is playing Augur. I want to encourage you to make the character sheets your own so that they make sense. So now that we know who Craig is playing, we're going to take a momentary break and we're going to say hi to Essie. Hi, Essie.
Hi.
How are you doing
Sorry
today?
I'm late. It was a 20-minute drive this morning.
That is quite all right. Glad you could join us. We just went through introductions and things. You haven't missed much. The only thing that we're doing right now is that we are choosing characters, all of the pre-gens. So basically, we just talked through the very first one that got selected, which was Nails. So did anyone else have a player character that they felt that they really wanted to play?
I was thinking about, well, my squid was my backup. Yeah, I guess I like nails also, but squid also look good.
Okay.
And squid also learned to fly even before reaching adulthood. Joined the Republic Navy as a fighter pilot several years before the Great War. And I guess aspects are grizzled veteran back for one last job. Decompression is devout Hindu. Anxiety and insomnia, / anxiety and insomnia. Relationship, Gunner comes through in a pinch. Also save us from young officers like Thermic. And the other aspects is I've got your 6.
Okay. That sounds good. I like it. Squid. Um, One thing that I didn't mention in the with Craig, but I'll mention it now with you. If you want to change the character's pronouns, I know that the artwork for the characters is set. That doesn't mean that we have to stick with that. So if you decide that you want to change a character's pronouns and physical appearance or something along those lines, you're welcome to make some small changes. I'm going to ask you not to make big changes to the character sheet, like structural ones, like swapping skills, but otherwise, you're welcome to do those sorts of things. Excellent.
Okay.
Cool.
Has anybody picked Thermic?
No?
I like her.
Okay, great. Tell me about Thermic.
Well, her high concept is she's the ambitious Republic officer who to keep tabs on the Squadron. Basically, everyone's babysitter. Babysitter drill sergeant, which seems like a fun role-playing thing on its own. I read that and I'm like, ooh. She's got good gunnery and investigate, and great tactics. One of her stunts is canonical maneuvers. May use tactics rather than pilot to defend against attacks from enemy gunnery.
Cool.
And I'm not buying it for investigate. May use investigate rather than empathy to detect deception in investigative work.
Oh, that's a good stunt.
Yeah. So I think I'll pick that one.
All right, sounds good to me. Good old Thermic.
In the interests of fun party stuff, I think in that case I'm going to be Nock, because I noticed that there's obviously I won't metagame about this knowledge, but I noticed that there was 2 different perspectives of that character in the ones that have already been picked, so that could just be quite interesting.
Sounds good. And you'll find, Henry, since you're brand new to Fate, that Fate is honestly the metagame is part of the game.
Okay.
Yeah. So no, lean into things that you know as a player, but maybe your character doesn't know. So
Cool.
yeah, there's like, unlike Dungeons and Dragons, we're not going to be like, well, how long do I have to fake not knowing a troll, is vulnerable to fire, So excellent. Take me on a tour through Nock, Henry.
Okay, so Nock is trans and transitioned at age 14. Excelled at sports, especially long distance running, and joined the Republic Navy Starfighter Corps 3 years before the outbreak of the Great Galactic War. So she fought for a while with the 92nd Starfighter. Sorry, I can't pick up that the font is a little bit dodgy on my computer. I don't know if I'm missing a font. Is that the Tachyon Starfighter Squadron?
Hold on, I'll head over to.
Oh no, hang on, I see it sees. The thingies were connected. It's the tactical. That would have made more sense. Starfighter Squadron, for several years before leaving the service to fly as a test pilot. She joined the DVG to get back in the fight for a just cause rather than for a corporation's benefit. Her high concept is a former test pilot out for a righteous cause. Her good decompression is I run, therefore I am, and her bad one is can't pass up a card game. Relationships, Nails is a reliable workout buddy. and the other one is Thermic's playing at something, and the other is the Squadron's conscience.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. And I can tell you that Nock, for instance, the amount of stress that Nock has, each of you have 5 stress except for Nock, because Nock has a stunt that takes it up to 9. So it's going to be hard to knock you out. Why are viewers going away?
Don't knock
I don't
it.
understand. All right. So let's see. So that means that we did not choose Gunner, and we did not choose Augur. So I'm going to go ahead and just move their 2 little pieces down out of the way. Let's see. I'm going to deal out everybody. I believe everyone's refresh is 3. You should be able to look at the top of your character sheet. If it is not 3, let me know. I'm going to be dealing out 3 fate points to everybody. I would appreciate it if in Roll20 you would update your name, the display name that you have, to be like your character's call sign. So it can be like Squid, and then your name. That way I can use your name if I need to. I see that Chris has added the full name for Squid. That's also okay. I just need to be able to have your name and a call sign so that I can make sure to be able to get your attention. While you're all doing that, actually I should update mine because I am Amazing Rando here. I should be GM/Amazing Rando. There we go. While we do that, has anyone never played Fate before other than Henry? All right, great. That's fantastic. I don't have to spend too much time spinning everybody up on how to play Fate. So everybody, it's going to be all of our responsibilities to make sure that Henry has a good game so that he can join us and becoming like a Fate player and a Fate GM. All right, so now that we have all of our characters sorted, we are going to start the game. In about an hour's time, we're probably going to take a short break. That way we can kind of take little bio breaks if we need them, stretch your legs, all of that good stuff. We are playing one of the Tachyon Squadron scenarios called Those Who Were Here Before. Okay, there has been a, oh goodness, let's see. I'm looking for the beginning. Sorry, it's got a lot of descriptions. All right, so you have all been called in on this particular mission because there is an object that has been detected out in kind of like deep space. It's near the star Beta Draconis. And the object is of unusual like size and signature, and so you have no idea what's going on with it. So you're the nearest ships that can be sent, the nearest squadron. So you're going to be sent out to check out what this thing is and report back. Okay, so there's no activity. There's no like the Dominion enemies aren't doing anything. There's no smugglers. Honestly, it's been a little bit boring lately, and so you're kind of welcoming this opportunity to go and check out whatever this particular object is. So you're going to be getting into your ships, which are they are called Blackfish. Let me go ahead and open up the ship. There we go. I'm going to click on Show to Players, so you should see the handout. It is the SF-46D Blackfish. This is standard issue for pilots of Tachyon Squadron. The Blackfish is a multi-role starfighter. It is equally adept at dogfighting enemy starfighters and strike missions, as well as surface targets. So if you're thinking like Tom Cruise flying an X-Wing, you've got the kind of the right like mental model for what's going on here. You have also been, let's see, I'm looking here. No. Okay. I read a bunch of different modules, and so I'm kind of sorting them out in my brain. There's a different module that started differently. All right. So you are being sent on this mission, the 5 of you. And let's see. I would like to know, Squid, why Squid doesn't want to go on this particular mission. Why Squid is unhappy about this particular mission.
Putting me on the spot.
Yes, I'm going to put everybody on the spot at some point today. Don't worry.
But about this mission specifically?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, everybody has an assignment that they don't care for. Like, it doesn't have to be a big thing. I'm just like, why is this kind of a sour mission for Squid?
It sounds boring and not enough action.
There you go. Perfect. It does sound boring, doesn't it? Let's see.
No offense to you, Randy.
Oh no! It's okay. I'm
not
very
expecting
boring.
the game to be
it.
boring.
No. It's okay. It'll be a terrible game, and we will all hate it. I'm looking at Roll20. Am I missing somebody? And is everybody in Roll20? Essie, are you in Roll20?
I might not have. No, I'm not.
Okay, great. That's why I'm like, wait, there are 4 colored blocks there. There should be more than that. But I have an art degree, so my math can often be wrong. So go ahead and log in. That way you've got access to Roll20. All right, let's see. While you're doing that, Nails, tell me why you're excited about this mission.
You never know what we can find out there. It could be a ancient piece of technology that we can use against the Dominion. It could be something that could help wounded fighter pilots that come back after missions. It could be he's excited because there's just no telling what it could be.
Awesome. So Nock, you're the closest whenever you're using sensors trying to read what this thing is as you're getting closer. At first, the object it's irregularly shaped and about over half a kilometer long. So for Americans, that's like maybe like a quarter mile, because there's 3 kilometers to, I don't know. I'm American. It's half a kilometer long. And about half as wide. It is irregularly shaped, which is odd for kind of debris in space, which has a tendency to become round generally. So it's odd. And it's definitely drifting. It does not seem to be on any kind of particular course. Well, it's on a particular course, but it doesn't seem to be like doing the small little course corrections that you've been doing as you've been kind of trying to get to a particular location. It's just kind of rolling along in whatever direction it's going, which based on calculations is directly into the star Beta Draconis. You do the math and it turns out that you've got about 6 days before this thing drops into that sun.
Okay. Well, that seems like a singularly odd course, if it is on a course, which, as you say, it doesn't seem to be intentionally moving, at least. That would seem to be an odd destination for it to go.
Indeed. As you're radioing this and you finished up your calculations, let's see. Nails, you pick up infrared and radio energy coming off of this. This infrared and radio energy, it is the kind that unshielded machinery often emit. So that means that whatever it is, it's unshielded. It's kind of like if you didn't have shields around your engines, all of you would be baked to death by radiation, basically. So whatever this is, it is emitting infrared and radio energy that unshielded machinery generates. So there is, so far, not any known asteroid that does this.
What is the size of our fighter craft in relation to the object? So you said, I know you said it's about a half kilometer long. I know you threw up
the Blackfish, the
black-
SF-46D Blackfish.
Mhm.
The size of it, looking at the description, it doesn't say, but based on the artwork itself, I would say that like it's basically the size, like the length, and probably about roughly the same like volume as a short school bus
Okay.
in size. So you don't have the room inside to move around because you're in the cockpit, fighter style. But that's about the size of your ship compared to this, what is it, half a kilometer long and a quarter kilometer wide.
Do we have EV suits?
You do have EV suits.
Well, then I say that we hop in and we get ourselves as close. So, are we aboard a carrier? Are all of our fighters?
No, it's all your independent fighter pilots. You went into essentially like hyperspace, came out, and have been doing the readings on this object as you've been getting closer to it.
Okay. Well, I'm not the squadron leader here, so I'm going to take my direction from because we have a ranking officer here, don't we?
Well, you definitely have an officer here. Officer.
Is that me?
That is Thermic. Your high concept is officer, isn't it?
Right.
Ambitious Republic officer here to keep tabs on the squadron.
All right. So the plan was to basically get out there and poke it.
Investigate it. Exactly. Find out what the hell it is. What's going on. Like, all that jazz.
You were cut out for a bit. You were talking about protective gear.
Yes.
How protective is that protective gear? Will it because we've got shielding on the ship to keep us from getting the wrong kind of baked, and
it would be sufficient for you if you decided that you were going to board whatever this is. So you wouldn't want to vacation there because that would be too much radiation, but you could definitely spend a couple of hours on it with the safety precautions that you have without having to worry too terribly much.
Okay. Any volunteers for going out there and poking it with a stick?
Yes. Happy to do that, sir. So Nails wants to land his fighter on the object, but I guess he wants to do two things. He wants to look for the best place to land, but he also wants to look for what might suffice as some sort of an entry point. Something that might, because basically, if there's machinery on the inside, if there is EM radiation that's coming off of it that indicates machinery, the conclusion that he's already starting to draw is that this is some type of a craft of some kind that's been out in space for so long that maybe it's accumulated debris or it's collided with something. It's got kind of a crust on it. So he's starting to just think, well, okay, there's got to be a hatch somewhere. So that's what he wants to look for.
And it might have passed by something else and gotten another kind of radiation, or got dented by something that created a leak somewhere, Because if it's been out and pelted with stuff, it might just have a gaping hole in it too, Who needs a door when you can just walk through the wall?
That's a very good point.
Yeah, I think that the best solution to this to start with is if we're not getting anything concrete that we can actually ascertain any idea of the identity of this from readings and stuff like that. I think it's probably just time to use our eyes and just have a look at least. Yeah, see if we can see any entries or whatever, or get any idea what the nature of it is.
So while all of you are having this discussion, Squid has been sitting quietly, just getting a little bit more excited because it's not just an asteroid, but still kind of a little bit sour on the mission. But then Squid, things get really interesting as you see ping, ping, ping. You see that that there are several small spacecraft near the object. And the energy signatures match poorly tuned Gator starfighters of the sort often used by irregular forces. And what that means is that like not like independent mercenaries, independent operators. Apparently, someone else has found this whatever this is before you, and there are ships there. And you know that if you are in sensor range and can see them, they can see you.
Okay, and we're radioing. So it looks like we're not the first ones here. We've got company. And also, is there any information that I can get from where we are now, from sensors or anything like that? Any additional information about these ships beyond that there are gators or whatever?
Oh yeah, let's totally switch scenes in Roll20 to a combat board and take a look at what's going on, shall we? I mean, maybe there's combat. All right. So I have. Oh no, I switched it for me, but I didn't switch it for you because Roll20. I have opinions. All right, so you should now all see basically a like line going down that is 9, 8, 7, 6, et cetera, et cetera. So the way that starfighting works in Tachyon Squadron, okay, with Fate, the way that combat usually works is it's fairly like narrative and it's theater of the mind. With Tachyon Squadron, one of the important things of the genre of like this dogfight, like this dogfighting starfighter sort of thing, is the idea of having advantage, like over other starfighters. Okay, we don't want to do that with a grid because that gets really complicated and starts turning into, honestly, an entirely different game at that point. So what Tachyon Squadron does is it has this board where basically we're stacking everybody in order of advantage that they have. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm looking at the board right now, and let's see. I see Nails. I see Knock. We do not have Gunner. Well, I can just rename that. Let me rename Gunner to Squid. If I can spell Squid. Save. Knock Nails. And we don't have Augur. We have Knock, Squid. Essie, could you change your Roll20 display name to be Essie and also include Thermic? That would be a great help to me. All right. So let me go ahead and set up the board. I did not set up the board in advance. Combat Patrol of Gator Starfighters. DF1 of 7 Gators. It's got all of the different we'll use that, but not those. Hold on, I'm just moving these things around. It's a little bit difficult whenever I've got a little tiny sliver of a screen that I'm using for Roll20 for streaming purposes. There. Let me rename that. Because that is not a swarm. Thank you for bearing with me, everyone. And that is page 136 of... Oh, wait, I think I actually have that here under ships. I don't want to hit show displayers, though. But all of you at home can see it. All right, so the way that dogfighting works, let me just go ahead and pop open that handout. I believe it is this quick reference rules here. Personal damage recovered. Engagements. So this is an engagement. The engagement, an engagement consists of 4 phases. Detection, which we've declared that you've detected each other, but we've got to go through some dice rolls. There's maneuver, action, and end of round. Okay. So the first one is the detection phase. Okay. So every pilot, so that's each of you, should go into your character sheets, and you're going to make a roll with technology. So your technology skill, you're going to click on it, and it should show up in chat. And then what we're going to do is we're going to look at where my results fall in the range of the players. So I'm going to go ahead and make a technology roll for the Gator, and I got a, oh, good Lord, I got a -2. That is terrible, and it's literally labeled terrible. Knock, what are you doing?
Superbly, apparently.
Yes, Squid is doing well. How about you, Thermic?
I'm not used to roll 20.
To be fair, I'm not either, so don't feel pressured.
How do we see chat?
But you figured out that avatar changing thing. I haven't done that quite yet.
What was your question, Craig?
Where do we see the chat so we can see the die roll results?
In Roll20, you should, let me actually open up Roll20. Actually, let me see if I can log in as player, rejoin as player, and then I'll share my screen so that those of you on the Zoom can see what's going on.
It won't let me open the character sheet.
Then that's my fault, Essie. Give me just one moment, and I will resolve that for you after I show everyone where the chat can be found. I'm going to go into Zoom.
Internet connection issue.
I'm so sorry. If it becomes too much of an issue, I can go into your character sheet and roll it for you. That's not fun for you, but we can talk about resolving that. So you should see my Roll20 screen right now. Up in the upper right-hand corner, if it's collapsed, there's a little 3-bar thing in the upper right-hand corner. I keep hovering over it. If you click on that, it will expand in Roll20 to show you options. And if you click on the first one, it's it will reveal the chat. Do you see that, Craig?
I'm getting there.
Okay.
So click on the 3-bar icon.
Yep. If you click on the 3-bar icon, it will hide and display a little, like basically a little slide out thing that can show you all sorts of stuff. There's the cog that has the controls for settings. There's the chat. There's the handout tab. There's a music tab. If I was using music, you can control how loud or soft it is.
Right. I see journal. I see jukebox. I see collection. I see settings.
Do you not?
Wait. No, I got it. Yep.
You got it? All right. Great. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. There we go. So we should be, let me check OBS to make sure. All right. Our display is good again in OBS. All right. Essie, I need to give you permission to edit Thermic or deal with Thermic. Give me just a moment, and I will do that. That's not the right place. Oh, Roll20. How I love thee. No, that's not it either. Trinidad Thermic Moreno is different for me than the others.
Yeah, it's just got this loading screen.
That's yeah. I just realized because I'm still logged in as a player. Let me log in as a GM. That will fix that. So I appreciate everyone being cool with the technology curveballs. In person, we would just roll dice.
I was gonna say, if there's one thing I've learned DM and over like even Foundry, like there's always going to be technical issues.
Yeah, I work in technology, and I don't think technology fixes anything. Well, that's not entirely true, but mostly true. Okay, it says it can be edited and controlled by all players. Not sure why, but I'm going to add you to the list.
Yep,
just to make
I
sure.
can get in to edit it. It's
Okay,
just not letting me use
roll.
it. No.
Okay. So on the character sheet, if you click on technology, it's not letting you roll it. Oh, if you do, so here, let me just share my screen just one more time to make sure that we're talking about the same thing. Oh, that's not the right window. Is it? No. Hold on. Okay. So what you should be looking at right now, let me cancel. What you should be looking at right now is Thermic's character sheet. If you click on a skill, it will pop open another little window because you can add a random modifier to it if for whatever reason, like maybe you're using a stunt or something along those lines. Basically, all you have to do then is just leave it at 0 and hit submit, and that will roll it for you. Is that what you're seeing?
This is what won't open. It's just a little loading thing.
Oh, the character sheet won't open. Oh my. Well, then I tell you what. One of the things that I tell you what. Here, let me go ahead because I want to make sure that you can see the character sheet. I will actually pop this out. Oh, that doesn't pop it out. I will pop it out and I will take a picture of it and send you the picture, and then you can just use like regular dice rolls and roll 20. Oh, technology. Hold on. I'm going to stop sharing and take a screen capture. Let's see if I can do this. I will send you both of those via Discord.
Great.
Does that work for you?
Yep, that'll be great.
Okay. Everybody at home, bear with me one moment while I move the images to a place where I can grab them. Critical Role doesn't have this problem. That's all I'm saying. So, all right, I've uploaded both of those to Roll20. Do you know how to do just simple dice rolls in Roll20, Essie?
I was looking at the instructions, trying to figure it out. You got to do like a hashtag roll something.
Yeah, if you do /R40F, what that's going to do, I'm going to actually type it into the chat just to show the results. What that does is that rolls the dice. If you roll 40F and then plus a number, that gives you the result of the roll plus that number that you've added. So for instance, if you want to now, you can actually make your technology roll by doing that 40F and then add whatever your technology stat is. As a shortcut, if you want, if you have the cursor in the chat window and you hit up, it will actually show you previous things that you've entered before, just as a way of a shortcut. If that's too much, then just do the /R40F plus whatever your value is.
There.
All right. Wow, and both of those rolls were zeros. Results.
Well, zeros are the most common fate outcome.
Indeed, indeed. All right. So I rolled terribly for the opposition ships. Okay, so they're I'm counting the number of ships that are supposed to be here. I'm going to put two. Oh, I'm just gonna put one gator. Nope. Let me copy paste. Put up two. All right. Okay. All right. So now that we have done that roll, that detection, let's go back to the handout and follow along with the quick reference. So I clicked the Show to Players button again, just in case someone had hidden it. So with engagements to the detection phase, the lowest player beats GM is the result that we got, which means one PC piloted ship is undetected. And there was not a success with style because Nails rolled a not -1. But that means that one of your ships is undetected. You, as players, may collectively decide who is undetected, and we can put your ship in the undetected line at the top. What that means is that the enemy ship doesn't see you, which means you have advantage over everyone that's in this particular dogfight.
Okay, who's the best pilot?
I'm a +4 pilot. Or great pilot. I'm not sure who else is the same.
Yeah, I'm only an
Yeah,
average
I've got
pilot.
tactics instead of pilot as one of my stunts.
Remember, gunnery is used for attacking with ships. So if you want them to be undetected and kind of come out of nowhere blasting, a high gunnery skill might be worth having undetected.
Yeah, but that's to defend against attacks from enemy gunnery. So it's probably best if I'm not undetected, because I can probably soak up damage better.
I think that maybe Nails would be the best one.
Yeah, I was going to say, in the same vein, one of my stunts is I'm a technical pilot, so I use technology rather than pilot to defend against attacks, and my technology is a +4 great, so I probably don't want to be undetected.
Don't want to be undetected. Then yeah, then okay. So then, I mean, I'm happy to stay undetected.
All right, Nails, go ahead and move your ship to the undetected line at the very top and roll 20. The rest of you, go ahead and put your ships on the line that equals the result that you got. So that means Nails rolled a -1, so Nails goes on the -1. I got a -2, so all of the gators, or the opponents, which are riding in gators, the irregulars, are on the -2 line.
Sorry, I drew a line instead of tracking
Not
their
the
thanks.
Not the end of the world.
Just the end of the line.
Yeah. Well, hey, there we go. All right, great. Going back to the quick reference sheet. Let's see. So that is the detection phase. Next is maneuver, then action, then end of round. So the maneuver phase, we have to establish which pilots have advantage over the others, enabling them to attack. You can only attack downward on this list, okay? So that means that all of you can attack the gators, and the gators really can't shoot back because they don't have any, like, they're really low. They've got, they're strongly at disadvantage with the way that they've done, okay? So the first maneuver phase of the engagement is basically putting your ship where you're supposed to, which is exactly what we did. I'm actually going to move this cargo ship because there is no cargo ship in this encounter. Let's see. You may, if you want to, during this phase, because we're going to have this maneuver phase round after round, you can actually do an overcome action with tactics, which will basically allow you to move your position on the board. Okay, because as you take actions, you're going to sink lower. And if you want to get back to an advantage point, you're going to have to roll tactics to move back up the board. Okay, so like for instance, if this is the second or later maneuver phases, there's a whole list of like where you then move to during this. So next up is the action phase. So we make attacks, create advantages, and perform all sorts of other actions. Okay, the pilot of the ship highest on the maneuver chart who hasn't yet gone goes next. So that means Nails is going to go first, followed by Thermic, then Nock, then Squid, then the opposition Gators.
I'm trying to move it. I can't
Is it not
move
letting
it
you?
'cause I was moving it earlier.
I'm looking to see controlled by all players. Give it a try now. For some reason, that one was literally the only one that wasn't marked as controlled by all players. You should be able to move it now. Thermic.
I did see it just move, and
Yeah.
I think someone moved mine from the 2 to the 1. Did that mark put in the wrong place? It's supposed to be in 2, right?
You're supposed to be where you rolled. So
Right, which is 2.
Squid should be at a 2.
Okay, I didn't know if I'd made a mistake since it looked like somebody else had moved me.
No.
But maybe it was an accident. I don't know.
It might have been an accident. Okay, so on your turn, during these dogfights, you get to take 2 actions from the list of available actions. There is step 1 and step 2 on your turn, and you'll see that to the right of this this board, there's actually a list of attack actions and non-attack actions that you can do that says when you can do it. So, for instance, there's step 1 or step 2. If it says full phase, then that means that you're using both of your steps or both of your actions to do this. So for instance, attack actions is a desperate attack, which is full phase, or a large target strike is a full phase. Getting on their tail is a full phase. And a snapshot is a step 1. Okay. Non-attack actions would be creating an advantage, which basically works the same as in Fate. Overcome, same thing. Like an overcome roll would be trying to get past, or I guess there's shake off a tail, which is full phase, but an overcome would be to try and take out an opponent's advantage. Push, repair, rescue, switch zones, which we don't have active zones on this board. Tactical refocus, which is basically repositioning yourself on the board. And thinning out swarms. We don't have any swarms on the board right now. There are literally just 2 ships. I know the artwork looks like a swarm, but there's literally just 2 ships that are there. The quick reference lists out specifically what you can do with those actions, with the attack actions and non-attack actions. I think at this point, the best thing that we can do is look at Nails and say, hey, Nails, what do you want to do?
I wanted to create an advantage with tactics to kind of coordinate our efforts. Let's see if we can take them alive. Let's take out their engines and see if we can get them to talk, see if they know anything. So I'm just trying to use chatter over the comms to try and coordinate our efforts and create an advantage with tactics. That way we're kind of all on the same page.
Yeah, and I'm the tactics person, so.
So can I go ahead and roll tactics?
Yeah, go ahead and roll tactics. I'm going to set the difficulty for this at a, let's see, you're kind of trying to talk everybody into the same page. I'm going to set the difficulty for this at a 4. Was it Thermic? You mentioned that you're a tactics person. Are you also trying to assist Nails in this?
Because we've got the radio. Right. I can boost pretty much everybody if I try it.
Well, right now, the reason that I ask is that you can provide a teamwork bonus to Nails, giving him a +1 to the roll. So, Nails, you can go ahead and make a roll with a +1. Essie, it wasn't time for Thermic to make a roll. I'm sorry if I was confusing. That's okay. But it is time for Nails to roll against a difficulty of 4. Ooh. Very nice. You got a 4 result. Did you include the +1 bonus from teamwork?
No, okay, so I should have done that.
All right.
Yeah.
That's a 5. That's okay. Listen, we're adults. We can do math. We can add.
So when you click on the skill and it asks you if you want to add, that's when you would put in a like a circumstantial bonus, like along the lines of the help action.
Precisely.
Okay.
Gotcha. Yeah. And if for whatever reason you forget to add it there, that's okay. We can just say, oh, I didn't add the teamwork bonus, or I didn't add from my stunt, and we'll resolve it from there. That's fine. Right. All right, so that's a 5 against a difficulty of 4. That is success. You are going to create an aspect, which brings up, like, how on earth in Roll20 are we going to create aspects? I guess I'll do that with text. Let me find text. All right, there we go. And I'll make the text white so we can read it. The aspect is, it sounds like all on the same page would be good. Okay. And it has 1 free invoke on it.
Oh, sweet. Okay, so that's you get the free invoke if you beat it by 1.
No, you get the free invoke when you create an aspect. When you're successful, like you just were, you get a free invoke on the aspect that you just created.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yes. So, and if you had succeeded with style, you would have gotten 2.
2, right.
Yep. All right. Awesome. So, Nails, you did that. Great job. Everybody is on the same page. Between you and Thermic, you guys are like barking out orders. And the Gators are kind of like headed towards you, but your crew has the upper hand. Knock, what do you want to do?
I think that my best move is going to be...
Well, and because I know that you've got a history of D&D and Pathfinder, I would ask that you disengage from your character sheet and think about what your what Knock the Starfighter wants to do in this situation. You can definitely reference your character sheet. Like, you're really good with technology. And really good about like defending, but like you can always just swoop in and shoot them, or think in terms of the narrative if you can.
I was thinking more in terms of what was on the character sheet of the aspect section, the Squadron's conscience. I'm not entirely sure that I would just be going in and shooting at them necessarily yet. Yeah. So I'm just sort of looking at things that I can do as well to sort of help the rest of the group, just in case they do attack.
Well, here's my question. You're the group's conscience. You're not sure you want to swoop in and start shooting. Why is that, Knock?
Because we don't entirely know what their game is yet. I mean, it's entirely possible that for whatever reason they have mistaken us for enemies, and it could be a bit of a misunderstanding, perhaps. And once you obviously start shooting, it then becomes too late to ask questions. So that's something that I would like to prevent if possible.
If you're good at technology, would you be able to send them a message through their radios? I don't know if any of us know how to access their radios, but maybe.
Well, I was going to say you can definitely message the ships, and I would say that if you want to send them a message and try and find out what's going on, you absolutely can. I'm not going to, in this instance, I'm not going to make a technology roll for they're on Sprint and you're on AT&T and you can't talk to each other, but it would be more of in this instance, it would kind of be rapport, trying to say, hey, what are you guys doing here?
Okay.
Because it sounds like you're making a friendly approach to find out what's going on.
Yeah, I don't have a very good rapport, but I will give it my best shot.
Well, here's the question. So tell me, what are you can either role play out exactly what you want to say, or if you're more comfortable, you can say I want to say something like.
No, I'll give it a go. So I hail them on the comms and say, DF-107 Gator Fighters, please inform us of your current objective. We mean no harm. This is call sign Knock.
Oi, Knock. Yeah, we're out here. We found the space debris, and we've by the rights of international space law, we have declared this our salvage. So please turn around and leave us be. We have everything under control. Thank you.
Okay,
We
well,
were supposed to check it out.
yeah, we've been sent on official business to come and investigate. So I can assure you that we have no intention of going out of our way to interfere with your find. However, we do need to be sure that this doesn't mean anybody any harm, and on the flip side, that there is nobody in danger aboard this, because we're a bit concerned by some of the readings it's giving us. So I think it's just best for everyone involved if you
And if
just
it's
let us just have a look.
hazardous, if it's hazardous, we might need to confiscate it. But I'm sure there'll be plenty of for you to have. Anyway.
So, Knock, please give me a rapport roll. I'm going to set the difficulty for this. I'm going to set it at a 2.
Okie doke. I'll probably fail this, but let's give it a go. Oh no, there we go.
What do we got here? We got a 4. Sorry, wait a minute. A 3.
A 3.
Okay, great. Yes. So basically, the reply to what we have to investigate is like, all right, we managed to take care of this. We're going to send you some of our footage. Should be sufficient for all of your purposes. You can sign off on it. Everything will be good. And basically, kind of like sends you the equivalent of snippets of movie scenes from B movies that people really wouldn't recognize, of a crashed ship on an asteroid. But with your rapport roll, you kind of recognize that no, that was really Top Gun 43, where they fought the aliens from Independence Day. So you catch on that what they've sent you isn't real footage, but they're trying to say that oh, this is just a crashed cargo ship on an asteroid, and that they're taking care of it. And had anyone not known about movies like you do, Knock, they might have been tricked. So yes, so that they basically they're claiming it as theirs.
Yeah.
So Knock, that was your turn. We're going to pass it to Squid. Squid. I'm assuming that everybody's on the same page, so everybody's hearing this conversation, and I'm presuming that Knock, you shared privately that oh no, that was Independence Day 47 where they fought, or Top Gun 47 where they fought the Independence Day aliens with everyone, but not the bad guys.
Oh yeah. I like to think that I would be keeping everyone else vis-a-vis the on the same page thing. I would like to assume that I'd be keeping everyone else informed.
In regards to them saying that by law that it was their rightful salvage, is that true, or would it depend on what it actually is?
That's a good question. And Squid, I'm going to look at your character sheet for a moment. Let's see. I'm in the process of slowly popping open everybody's character sheet so I can look at them. So Squid, you know what? You are a grizzled veteran back for one last job. I would say that that whenever it comes to international salvage laws, that there are a lot. If it was what they sent the video of, that they would be perfectly within their legal rights. But based on what your scanners have told you, that no, it's probably not. And you also know that they're lying about what this is, so you probably should actually figure out what it is before doing something.
Okay, so on my character sheet it says that I know the rules and how to break them.
Yeah.
So if I can negotiate with these guys, because we know that they're not telling us the truth, I can tell them okay, these are the rules. You know, if you cooperate with us, this is how we can bend them to your advantage. You know, so that you can get something out of this, because otherwise we're going to have to confiscate it, and you don't want that. Because it's, something like that.
Okay. Well, Squid, you've just been advised by Thermic as to, like, you know, a possible route forward. Because Thermic knows the laws inside and out.
I'm sorry. I think I missed what that advisement actually was. Just
Because as it stands, you know, we would have to confiscate it from them because our readings don't match with what they've showed us. But since my character, one of her aspects is she knows the laws and how to break them, the rules and how to break them.
okay, I see.
She would know what we can do to work with them to keep them cooperative. Because we can say, okay, I guess we have to take this from you now, and then fight them, or we can try again to cooperate by being like, okay, if we don't, this doesn't count as loot, so we can toss that off like 20 feet, and it's not part of the wreck, and then you can go collect that. Otherwise, you'll be left with nothing, and you don't want that because we're gonna have to kick your butt,
I say, I guess from my perspective, I wasn't so much interested in me. I was just more want to make sure I get a good position. So when this turns ugly, that which I expect
I'm trying
it
to
will.
keep it from turning ugly.
I think that's valid, but as a backup, I think I want to get into a better position and get on one of their tails.
All right. All right, so you are going to use the on their tail, and you're basically going to position yourself in a slot directly above your target on the maneuver chart. When you get on their tail, you actually attack. Or are you trying to create an advantage on their tail to just represent the narrative advantage? Or are you actually intending to attack?
I thought the attack on the tail only happened after you've been on the tail for at least one turn. Am I mistaken on that?
Yeah, you're mistaken on that.
Oh, okay. So we're not attacking yet. So maybe I should just kind of create an advantage then, just to get into maybe branch off a little bit, so that if this does turn to a fight, maybe I can get them in a flank.
All right. That sounds like tactical refocus. So that is step 2. So go ahead and roll tactics, and then you're going to position your ship at or below the result on the maneuver chart. At or below the result on the maneuver chart. Yeah, you're going to basically reset your position. Now bear in mind that if you roll low, you will end up lower, but it gives you the chance to get higher on the chart. So,
okay, and somehow I misplaced my character sheet. I must have closed it by accident. Let me find that again.
I also, one thing that I missed, I'm also new to Tachyon Squadron. Apparently on the quick reference sheet, no, it's at the end of the round you degrade your maneuver chart position. Okay, no, I was right. No one should move their ship yet. Okay, cool.
So I'm ready. So doing the tactics now?
Tactics, yes. This is to reset your position on the board here. 3. Go ahead and move yourself up to the 3 line. And then we will pass it to Thermic. Thermic, it is now your turn.
So I know the laws and how to break them. What specifically would be preventing us from seizing it at this point?
Honestly, just you making a decision. Also, whether or not they've got additional firepower somewhere around.
And would lying to us about the contents of the salvage, whatever, would that constitute something that they could be detained for?
Oh, that is a good question. Yes, I would say yes.
Because that we can say, like, okay, you guys can go away, or we're gonna have to detain you. Because you can get off, scot-free if you leave right now, or whatever. Because they've just lied to us, and we caught them in a lie. So,
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I think that's a good shout. That gives them opportunity.
Yeah, I think we should tell them that if they don't run away, then that we're going to hurt them.
Or at least detain them.
Preferably the latter.
Works for me.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm
Right.
I'm looking at it from the standpoint of trying to put the fear of God into them, make them run because they're scared.
Okay, who's got the best stats on how to tell them that?
Well, right now it's your turn, Thermic. So the question is whether or not you want to tell them that or take another action.
Yeah, I would think my character could speak with authority on that. I'm gonna cite a specific, law, like in section D, subparagraph E, this is such and such a law, and you've violated XYZ of this, so, and we really don't want to do paperwork, so scoot, or, I'm gonna, do I roll for that?
I'm thinking about how to resolve it right now. So I'm looking at the skills. I'm trying to.
It sounds like
to try.
Sounds like what?
I suggested provoke.
This is definitely yes. Provoke sounds right. And I will tell you as GM that they are not going to run away. But what we're going to do is we're going to use this as a great advantage for this of like you've been warned that your group can use to your advantage because they have their reasons for being here. They are basically like mercenaries, and like this is how they make their living. So they're not going anywhere. They're not scared of cops. So you're going to roll provoke. I'm going to set the difficulty for this at a 2 to create that advantage that like you've laid down the law on them, and so whatever comes next they deserve. Does that sound like in line with what you'd like to do?
Yeah, and that's also convenient for paperwork.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
As I said,
So go ahead.
I cited the law, and then they did this. Everyone will back me up on it. I didn't go in guns blazing.
It's been logged in all of the audio recordings in the Blackfish, so you're good.
Great. I'm here to cover everyone's butt.
Good stuff. All right, go ahead and make
Good
me
thing
that
we brought
roll.
a lawyer.
All right, which tab?
I see
Okay.
you brought a knife to a lawyer fight. That was unwise. Ooh, 3 result. Very nice. All right, that is indeed going to create the advantage. Let's see. And that is going to be you've been officially warned. Does that sound good to you, Essie?
Yep. Perfect.
All right, great. And just to let everybody know, if you want to name your own aspects, you're more than welcome to. I just, to kind of keep things moving, usually make a suggestion. But please, if you have ideas, don't let me railroad you or like talk over you. All right, great. So that was Thermic. Now it is time for them to take their actions. I'm going to open up the quick reference here, take a look at what they can do. They are they are doing a Let's see. They're going to do a create an advantage. They're going to attempt to cut communications between your ships. They're going to try and jam you. I'm presuming that I think it's Nock who has a lot of technology stuff.
Yeah.
Nock, you can defend against this with technology. Basically, what they're doing is trying to the advantage. We're all on the same page. What they want to do is block your communications so that you can't, like, you're not communicating as well. You defend with technology, and then I'm going to be attacking with something as soon as I open up the ship sheet again. I thought I had popped it out. I did not. So let's take a look here. If you want, you can go ahead and make the roll now.
Yep. There we go.
Nice.
I heard nice. That doesn't bode well for me. Fortunately, I just paid for a Roll20 subscription, so maybe they'll make my dice really good. This is going to be technology for them. Wow, I made a really poor decision for them. Let's see. That is going to be like I said, a very poor decision. So that is defend with style. So holy smokes. What that means for you, Nock, is that you defended with style, which means that you get a boost. In Fate Core is written, boosts have names. I don't name boosts because they are fleeting. They're an aspect that literally lasts for like no time at all. So Nock, if you don't use your boost by the end of your next turn, then it just goes away. Otherwise, it functions as an aspect with a free invoke on it, which I know is gibberish talk to you right now, Henry. But on your turn, we will say what that means.
Cool.
So they were not successful in doing their thing, which sucks. All right, so with the second step that they have, they are going to do a tactical refocus because they want to shift their position on the board. And that is pretty good tactical refocus, bumping them up 2. At this point, we hit the end of the round, which means that everyone who has not done a tactical refocus, so that means that Nails, or I'm sorry, it was Squid who refocused, or did a tactical refocus. Squid and the Gators stay where they are. Everyone else needs to lower their ship down 1 level. All right, so Thermic and Nock and Nails all go down 1 level. All right, so Nails is now detected, and everyone is where they're at. Right now, Thermic is in a, it could potentially be shot by the Gators now. We now start round 2 for the combat, and we start at the very top, which is, once again, Nails.
All right. So at this point in the course of the fiction, they've made it very clear that they're not scared by us and that they're taking they're taking a position to try and either fend us off or to shoot us away, to destroy us, to defend them. Okay.
Yes, they've basically they've given you enough bullshit to make you want to, or to encourage you to leave. You told them that, no, we are the law, and they said, oh, okay, and now they're basically super threatening Thermic, and potentially will threaten the rest of you if they get the chance to.
What do I have to do, since it's my turn, what do I have to do in order to be able to close with them and shoot at one of them?
Well, that's a great question. The quick reference document under action phase has attack actions and non-attack actions. Right. So you can make there's a desperate attack, which you don't have to do. There's a large strike target, which there are no large targets on the board. There's no cargo ships or anything. So you can do one of 2 things. You can get on their tail, which allows you to basically move into the slot directly above your target, and then you attack with a +2 bonus on your attack roll with an escalating bonus because you're basically just right behind them. Right. Or you can do a snapshot, which is attack a ship at your level or below on the maneuver chart. So those are your choices whenever it comes to like.
I think I'm gonna go on their tail.
I'm sorry. Repeat that.
I'm gonna go on their tail.
All right. I will mark one of them as A and one of them as B. Just let me know whether or not A or B is going to be what you're going to go for.
Okay.
All right.
So I'm going to get on A's tail.
All right. I'll move them apart a little bit so that it's a little bit easier. So drop yourself down into the +2 zone right above Gator A. And then you will make a gunnery attack with +2.
I got a 4 total, and that's including the +2.
All right. I am going to make a pilot as they try to zoom out of the way. And that is a tie. So we've got some options.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but when do I have to declare that I want to use, so we've got a free invoke on the table and we've got a boost on the table. When did I have to I have to declare that I wanted to use that before their result was dropped?
No.
Okay.
With spending free invokes and fate points, it all comes after the fact. Basically, what happens is that there is the possibility of a bidding war once the dice are rolled.
Okay.
So the dice are rolled. We've got 4 against 4. If we let it stay, you get a boost. However, as you pointed out, you can spend some of these free invokes. You can also spend fate points on your aspects as long as they are relevant to the situation. So, for instance, if Henry wanted to, he could have Knock give you the boost, which would give you a +2, or you could spend the free invoke from All on the Same Page, or the free invoke from You've Been Officially Warned.
Okay, so I'm going to put it to the group, and does anybody have any objections to me using the free invoke that I put in there on that with All on the Same Page?
No, happy if you do that.
No objection here.
Go ahead.
Okay, so that's what I'm going to do.
All right, so I've marked that with an X to indicate that the free invoke is gone. That takes us to a 6 against 4. I'm going to look at the Gator. The Gator has an aspect called Dangerous in Groups. And I'm going to spend one of my fate points because as GM, I have a pool of fate points. I'm going to spend one of my fate points on that Dangerous in Groups because there are 2 Gators, meaning that it's a little bit harder for you to get a good strike in, taking us to a 6 against a 6.
Okay, let me look at my sheet real quick. Let me look at my aspect.
I'm going to hand off my boost to you if you want it.
I'll take it if you're fine with that, sure. So that puts me
good.
Seeing
as you are my reliable workout buddy, you can have my boost.
Nice.
Excellent.
That
All
puts
right.
me an 8 versus a 6.
Indeed, and I'm going to stop there. I'm done spending fate points. One of the things about the bidding war that can happen with it is that there's never a sneaky moment where someone can come in at the last minute and just add another fate point. There should always be a closing of last call. Does anyone want to spend more fate points? And I actually have to go into the fate points that I've got here, and I'm going to pull out one of my fate points and remove it. The fate points are handled as cards in Roll20, so you can now actually see that I have 2 fate points. Well, the rest of you have 3, except for Essie, who is not here whenever I was dealing out fate points, and I will now give you 3 fate points. There we go. All right, groovy. So, I'm going to move that over just so I can see your nameplate. Nails, good job. Next up is Knock.
So I'm sorry, before we go to the next person, I just want to know what the result.
You know what?
is.
Yes, I literally just realized. So that I'm sorry.
I'm just wondering what's happening, basically.
Yeah. So you fired on the Gator. The Gator has 2 shields. Everyone's ship has shields, And so, for instance, if you look down on your character sheet, under extras, okay, I'm going to actually pop this back in. That was, which character? That was Seraphim Nails. All right. So on the character sheets, there's an extra that is the Blackfish. It's a little bit slow for me. And what that does is that provides you with some stats on the ship itself. Okay, so the ship itself does not actually, for instance, there's scale, quality, modular equipment bays, things we're not using today. There are modifiers to technology, tactics, gunnery, and pilot. They're all zeros, so there's no modification to that. Some ships can have upgrades that will allow them to do that. There is, for systems, the weapons are weapon 1. So what that means is that it does 1 extra point of stress whenever it hits, and it has no extra armor. You have 3 1-point stress-absorbing like shields. So if you take 1 to 3 points of stress, you apply it to the shields. Then underneath that, you see that there's this computer damage and propulsion system damage and critical systems damage. If your shields are gone, you will roll 1 fate die, and then if it's a plus, a blank, or a minus, it impacts one of those systems. And you have to absorb stress with one of those systems. You get to choose like which ones you need to. And obviously you see that like the worst of all of them are basically like you got to punch out of the ship. Which is a not a good thing to do, but it's better than dying in the ship. So that's good. So that's what your ship does, or at least an examination of your ship. So the Gator itself has 2 points of shields, which you've burned through with your shot, and it is going to take a point of damage. I'm doing the simple damage option for the Gators. So instead of using that complicated which systems get hurt, because I want to speed this conflict through, I'm using simple damage. So it is also taken a point of stress. It has a couple more stress boxes, but it will soon be taken out, presuming that everyone starts piling on. But it has begun to be hurt. So
Awesome.
Great job, Nails. Knock, what do you want to do?
Sorry.
That's okay.
I am going to Tendonose is well top on their tail. I'm going to, I think, play it smart. So where it says step 1 and step 2, does that mean that I can do? What I'm thinking is, if I'm thinking this right, so can I do a snapshot, because that is step 1, followed by a tactical refocus as step 2?
Yes, absolutely.
Cool. In that case, I'm going to do that then.
All right. Who are you shooting at, Knock?
I'm going to go for Gator B.
Gator B.
I will just put myself there just so that that's visually.
All right.
So roll gunnery, yeah?
Yep. Go ahead and roll gunnery. I'm going to roll pilot to get out of the way.
And no pluses to that. So.
Ooh. I defended with a 3 against your 1, Knock.
Yep.
So now you have some choices, Henry. Whenever it comes to fate, you can, that free invoke on You've Been Officially Warned could let you do one of 2 things. One is re-roll. Another is add 2 to your roll. I would not suggest re-rolling, because statistically, you're probably looking at what you actually rolled. You're probably going to get a result that's similar.
Yeah.
So, like, if you really want to hurt them, you can spend the free invoke from You've Been Officially Warned, and that would take you up to a 3. And then you would have to spend a fate point against one of your aspects that justifies adding on another +2. So, like, your high concept of former test pilot out for a righteous cause would definitely create that justification, costing you a fate point. And then you would be at a 5 against my 3.
I think I'm gonna just on an outside game thing. I think it's going to be a bit of a waste at this point for me to use not only one of the group free invokes, but also some of my fate points. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go with the miss, and in game, that is because that was more of sort of a bit of a Hail Mary shot as I flew around to get into better position after flying past and giving Nails a bit of a boost with that shot there. So that is so yes. So I'm gonna keep the miss.
Awesome. And way to lean into the narrative. I love it.
It's got to be done.
All right. Nock, that
so
was you. Oh, go ahead.
Tactical refocus
Yes.
first, quickly. Sorry.
Yes.
Um,
That's okay. Go ahead and roll tactics.
Yep. Oh, hang on. I've got to click the thing. Oh, there we go. So 3.
All right. So go ahead and put yourself on the number 3 line.
That didn't make much difference because I would have degraded to there anyway. Oh, well.
Well, you tried, though.
Yeah.
So, all right. Great. Squid, your turn. You're up.
All right, so I'm going to go with, since negotiations over, I'm going to go for the plan I was going to do last time and get on their on Beast Tail here.
All right. That gives you a +2 to your attack, getting on their tail.
And so I'll roll gunnery from the ship. I guess this won't matter since they're the same.
And I'm going to, they are defending with pilot to try and get out of the way. And we are 1 against 1. What would you like to do, Chris? Let it stand or something else?
Oh, I didn't actually add the +2 on that.
Oh, well then there you go. That gives you a 3 against 1, which is a 2 stress hit against Gator B. You can let that stand, or you can start piling onto that if you want to as well.
Sure, I'll use my aspect grizzled. Well, I guess can we use a free invoke here, or does it matter? I guess. Is anybody else going to use
Narratively,
it?
like just explain how you're using it. But yeah, you can check with the group to see if it's okay if you use that.
Fine by me.
Yeah, I don't have a problem.
And so, in both those aspects are still open, or
Both of those aspects are still in play. The all on the same page has no free invokes on it. If you want to, you can spend a fate point on all on the same page.
Okay.
Because Nails is still keeping everybody together with the aid of Thermic, kind of like coordinating tactics.
I'm not really sure how you've been officially warned would specifically narratively help, but even my grizzled veteran back from one last job, that my experience, I think it makes me pretty effective at getting a good shot off. So I'll spend a fate point for that.
All right, great. Go ahead and remove one of the fate point cards and roll 20.
Okay.
And that will take you to a 3, 5, 4 stress hit. And that 4 stress hit will remove 2 of the shields and 2 of the stress. And Gator B is removed from play.
Ghost.
It was B for blow up. So
or boom.
Excellent work there, Squid. Thermic, it is your turn.
All right, so I've got excellent tactics, and I can, use tactics rather than pilot to defend against attacks from enemy gunnery. And it looks like I'm in a really, really bad spot. So I'm gonna use my turn to give a boost to defense because I feel like I'm going to get shot at.
So you're going to create an advantage to try and so that you can use it in case you get shot at.
Mm-hmm.
All right, great. Go ahead and roll tactics, and then we'll figure out what tactic you're using to avoid getting shot. I'm going to set the difficulty for this at a 3.
Okay.
Ooh, you got a 3. Now, with creating an advantage, that creates a boost because it's a tie. If you want to spend a fate point, you can do that, but that's kind of spending a fate point to get a free invoke on a create an advantage, but then at least you have that advantage. I don't know. What
Right.
would you like to do?
Can I get out of the sticky situation that I have? I'm in a -1 and everybody's +1 or higher.
You can as well. First, let's resolve you setting up your tactics with this create advantage, and then as part of step 2, you can do the tactical reset. With the advantage that you've created right now, it's a boost. Do you want to let it just sit at a boost?
Yeah.
Okay. I will go ahead and just add a boost there. Boost is added. Now you can roll tactics to reset your position on the board.
Let me just check the number on my tactics. No, it's a 4.
All right. Go ahead and move your ship up to the number 4 line. All right. I need to rewind just a little bit. I'm not undoing anything that happened. Narratively, we're just rewinding a little bit because I forgot that the Gators needed to go before you, Thermic. So I'm going to let them take their shot, but it's not going to undo your move.
Okay.
Or anything that you did. So the Gators are going to attempt to, or the Gator A, is going to attempt to shoot you with gunnery. You may defend with pilot or any other special way that you can do.
Yeah, that was pretty much what happened with the when I rolled the first time. So maybe we could just use that roll as that move, because it was essentially preemptively defending against getting shot.
Well, that was to create the boost. So you have the boost. You still have to roll piloting against this gunnery attack, which I rolled a -1 on. So I don't think the Gator's going to have a good day with this one. That was literally 4 minuses is what I rolled. Literally 4 minuses. That was tough.
Should have got the premium plan.
Right? Well, I mean, I would have liked the API access, but oh well. All right. That is defense with style, which means that not only do you have your boost, but there's another boost that was created from you defending really well. Do you want to describe how you've defended really well against the Gators to get that boost?
Are 2 of them still in play?
Just one.
No, because I was just going to say I flew between them and one shot the other one. But maybe I was in front of somebody else and kind of hiding them. So it's a boost for somebody else who got lost.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. We're now at the end of the round. And everyone who did not do a tactical reset, please degrade your position, move yourself down 1 row. So Thermic, you stay where you are, and I believe it was Nock who also did that. Otherwise, degrade your position. So the Gators are degrading their position. Nails will go down 1 as well. And then we start from the top again. This is probably going to be the very last round because Gator A has already taken damage. Thermic, you're at the top now. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm going to use that to my advantage, and I'm gonna let me see what my gunnery is. My gunnery is pretty good. I'm gonna just use that to shoot at him.
All right, sounds good. Go ahead and roll that. I'm going to defend, and I'm going to defend really, really well with a 1.
Against my 7.
Wow.
Yeah, a 1 against 7. Do you want to describe how the Gator blows up?
It blows up real big. It goes boom extremely.
It blows up with one of those like little rings, like the George Lucas ring from the the revised Star Wars movies. That's how you know it's a good explosion.
There's
If
like a
it's got that
mushroom
little
cloud on
center
top and
ring.
bottom at the same time on the ring.
Yes.
Space
Yes.
warriors are dangerous.
You could tie all of those rolls in together, the really good defense, the tactical refocus, and then blowing up the gator so spectacularly, and do that thing that happened in Star Wars Rebels, where there was like a TIE fighter on the ghost's tail, and as the TIE fighter shot, the ghost did kind of a drift and then went round behind it and blew the TIE fighter up instead. You did that with the gator.
Oh, can I say it was a thing where I was like, I shot them, but I went like faster than the shot, and I waved at them as I went past, right before they blew up.
Yes. Well, just remember that. So you've got a 6 stress hit, because that's the difference between the 1 and the 7. Then you had 2 boosts, which took it to a 10 stress hit. And then you've been officially warned, takes it to a 12 stress hit. So almost nothing will survive a 12 stress hit. So
Okay.
that is the second largest stress hit that I have ever seen in a Fate game, I think.
Oh my.
Yes. The largest, I think, was 18, where I rolled 4 minuses and the player rolled 4 pluses, plus
Nice.
all of the different advantages and everything. It was crazy. Crazy. All right. So you guys have taken out the gator ships, and you are now approaching whatever this crazy object is. As you're getting closer, you see that this thing is like an amorphous, like it's shaped like an amorphous blob. Like there are all sorts of like protuberances and crazy like formations. This is not something that humanity would have architected. Just you can just tell by how much of like parts of it are an eyesore, and like seems to have been like created by like some of it by whim or whimsy, some of it by like maybe
Ship design
artificial
is my
intelligence.
passion.
Yes. And so like it's just absolutely just kind of crazy. It's obvious that this is a ship from an alien like existence. Okay. And this is the very first time that a ship from an alien like civilization has been like seen, recovered, experienced, at least as far as what you understand or like based on your clearances. Um, it has been known that there were a race of people called the Ancients. Like they're basically called the Ancients because like why give them any other name? Marketing, psyops gave them the name the Ancients because it reads well in social media, and you were aware, like humanity was aware of their existence, and they died out about 2,000 years ago. Humanity was aware because of all of the different signals that are in space, but as far as like having encountered them or really like experienced anything that they built, this is the very first thing. So as far as the 4 of you probably are concerned, this is one of the greatest discoveries like in humankind's history. So this is absolutely crazy, and it looks like pirates have gotten here first. As you approach the ship, you see that in one of the like docking ports for the ship, that there are several more, like probably a half dozen more gators that have landed in this docking bay or are like magnetized against the side of the ship. And apparently there are like a bunch of these irregulars inside of this alien vessel. So it's pretty crazy. So you've got a feeling that you're probably going to be encountering humans inside looting, essentially. At this point, I would like to take a 10-minute break so that we can stretch our legs, get something to drink, relax a little bit, and then we'll come back to the game. And I know, Craig, you have to go at 4. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to get everything in, but at least we managed to fit in a dogfight for sure.
Yep.
So we will meet back here at 3:30 Eastern half past the hour if your local time isn't Eastern, and we'll continue playing.
All right.
Sound good?
Cool.
Awesome.
Awesome.
I say.
All right, let's get some audio up. Let's switch back to Tachyon Squadron. All right, we are back. All right, let's kick some butt. But before we kick some butt, Craig, since you need to go, I'm going to go ahead and make this announcement a little bit early. I'm going to put it into the Zoom chat. That way everybody can see it in case they're not streaming it. Thanks to the generosity of Evil Hat, everyone who's playing today, so Henry, Christopher, Craig, and Essie, everyone is going to get the Tachyon Squadron expanded bundle on Roll20.
Oh, excellent.
So you can run this and play it yourself. The only stipulation is that you have to invite me to the game. I'm kidding. You don't have to. So you can go ahead and use this for yourself and have a lot of fun. That was my first time with the dog fighting in Tachyon Squadron, and I have to say I think that's pretty sweet and very hackable for other games where you're trying to negotiate like advantage. I run a lot of political games, so I'm like, debates. So.
Yeah, I like how that. I've read through Tachyon Squadron a long time ago, and I liked how that map kind of combines both the idea of a tactical advantage and something like initiative at the same time.
Yeah, it's pretty rad. I'm dating myself by saying rad, but it's pretty rad. So, all right.
Is there a code for that, or how does that work?
I'm going to send you an email. I have to reach out to Evil Hat. Well, first of all, we can handle the details off stream.
Sure.
So yeah, I'm not literally going to paste you the code right now, but
cool.
Yeah, you'll probably get it like early in the week. So, all right. So let's go ahead and I'm going to switch. I'm going to switch us back to the start board. I'm in Roll20. Everybody should be on the map of yore that we started with. Let's just move some tokens around because I want everybody to just kind of be together. There we go. Squid, Nails, Knock, and Thermic. All right, so the situation as we left it was there was this giant alien spaceship, derelict alien spaceship, that apparently these irregulars, these mercenaries, have invaded, for lack of a better word, or salvaged, if you're thinking in their terms, this ship. This is one of the greatest finds of humanity, and currently in the possession of these opponents. What's the plan?
Well, we warned them. So
Yeah,
I guess we go in guns blazing.
I think, yes, I'm going to defer to the officer. I think that we have to be sensible, and if this is as big a find as it appears to be, then we can't really have it spoiled. These people clearly have hostile intentions. So yeah, I think we're going to have to go in a bit gung-ho.
Yeah, but we should definitely document if we can, because I feel like, there's the possibility that it might get damaged in the melee, or someone might move as something, which might complicate future investigations.
Yeah, definitely make sure that we are.
And we want to cover our butts.
Yeah.
For sure.
Do we have like the police body cam things that we can use?
That's a great question. You tell me. I'm fine either way.
Because I feel like Thermic would definitely, have at least one to cover her butt. Because part of being able to break and bend rules is to cover your butt so well that you could get away with stuff.
True.
And document so that you're above reproach enough in other areas so that if you sneak something by, you're like, oh, they wouldn't do anything wrong.
Why was it switched off? It wasn't switched off. The batteries ran out.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So how are you approaching, like, going in? It's like, just kind of like parking the ship, like going in the way that they did, looking for another entrance. Like, how do you want to tackle this?
I'm thinking try to look to see if there's another entrance that we can spot, because I would rather, if they exit, that they don't encounter our ships at the same time, before we encounter them. Is my thought.
That sounds like a great plan and a great way to use a fate point, because you can use a fate point to declare a story detail. So, Christopher, you can forego, or rather give me a fate point and say, hey, turns out there's another way in that we can use for all the reasons that you just listed.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that. I'm game.
All right. Groovy.
Can't take them with you.
Right? All right, cool. So yes, there is another entrance, and you are able to go in that way. I shouldn't be eating while trying to GM.
Cheers.
But I have, I'm hungry. I'm very hungry. It's between meals, and I did not eat lunch because I was prepping for this. So I love you all so much that I did not eat. All right, so let's describe a little bit. All right, so let's see. You did not radio home for instructions because you're great.
Yeah, that would be sensible.
Yeah, that's okay. You know what? I love playing my characters like they're stolen cars. So, like, anything you can do to create a problem makes it so interesting. All right, so there is an obvious airlock leading from the docking facility that you found. Thanks to Squid. It's opened and operated by pressing on a featureless gray panel, like next to the hatch. The airlock slides open and lets you continue on. All the airlocks on the ship work the same way. But once inside, artificial gravity kicks in. Basically kind of like as you walk out of the airlock, you see that like a bunch of like debris or whatever that was floating in 0G just kind of like collapse down to the ground as gravity kicks on. It's sort of like how there are some places have lights that will light up as people walk by, and then like when it doesn't detect motion, it turns it off because why waste energy? That's the same way with artificial gravity on this ship. So as you enter, artificial gravity kicks in. It is 4/5 of Earth gravity, so 0.0 G is what it is. So you're a little bit lighter than you are on like most of your vessels that have artificial gravity. The corridors themselves are long and they're dark. So the flashlights that you've brought with you, the headlamps that you have, the glow sticks that you're leaving behind as a kind of like Hansel and Gretel like path to find your way back are all like incredibly useful because the lights really aren't coming on. The bulkheads are like a weird mixture of material. It's like a blend of titanium and granite. Which is also what the external hull is made out of. So it's kind of like almost like a continuous material that's a blend of this titanium and granite, which is completely weird. Oh, go ahead.
Is it Ripley like Damascus steel?
Sure, why not? In places, there are also like there are also lots of chambers and compartments that are sealed with the same sort of airlocks that led into the corridor from the docking facility. So basically, like, kind of like sort of like how fire doors in a building provide like stoppages for fire. They have airlocks between like different areas to provide like safety to make sure that air doesn't escape. There are designs and markings that are etched and engraved on the walls and ceiling of all of the corridors and compartments. Let's see. I tell you what. Nope, we're not going to do that because I am avoiding that subplot. All right. So let's see. So there are a bunch of different types of location. Is there a certain type of location that you're looking for in the ship, or do we do it randomly?
I think we're gonna do the tactics of just clearing out one room after the other, like, and make sure that we can't be ambushed from behind, or essentially, and move through it like that.
That sounds good. From a player perspective, is there any particular kind of room that you guys would like to encounter as you go through? I don't, like, this is Fate. I don't have a map of the ship. I have a bunch of different rooms, and I want to make sure that if there's something somebody's cool and interested in, we can do that. Otherwise, I can...
in their closet.
In their closet? That's a good question. All right.
That's where they keep all the most interesting things.
You know what? I am right there with you. And that is actually something that they don't have listed here. But that's cool because I get to make shit up. All right. So basically, you're kind of looking for, like, where do they sleep? Where do they, like, call home? Where do they, like, just, like, where do they bed down kind of thing? You end up going through, like, some hallways and equipment rooms and all of this kind of stuff. All of it's super interesting, but I'm not describing any of it. What's interesting is where they live. Okay, so these, the creatures, oh, let me see. I need the description of what the bodies look like. There's... I love that description, which doesn't give me any description, which is perfect. All right. So basically, what you find is you find that so you're human, so you're kind of looking for a place that might have, like, individual quarters. Occasionally, like, you know, on some of the, like, the vessels in space, some of the, like, lower ranked crew will, like, share bunks in spaces, so it's not uncommon, but it's generally, like, a lot of the capital ships try to make sure that everybody has some kind of space of their own, even if it is, like, just a tube that they can sleep in, but something that they can put up some artwork. You find that whatever this race was and whatever they did, that they nested together collectively. You enter a room and you see that there are all sorts of what you might consider like feeding tubes. Like, you're reminded of, like, the like how hamsters get water from, like, that straw that comes down that has the little ball that blocks it, and you push it and then, like, water will come out. There are various, like, feeding apparatus around this, like, large circular room that has in the center, it has, like, a you kind of, like, feel it a little bit. It divots down into, like, a bowl shape, and it has, like, the, like, consistency of a waterbed, essentially. And, like, throughout this place, there are, like, the bony remains of this alien race. Their anatomy is such that you can't figure out, like, heads or tails from what remains there are. Apparently, most of the creatures, most of this race, your guess would be that, like, they were very little. They had very few bones. Like, it was a lot more, like, stuff that basically deteriorated over time. And it's crazy. Like, you've got this waterbed filled with bones and, like, desiccated remains. So you see that there are a variety of, like, the like, possessions. They don't have, like, individual, like, chests or closets. It seems that it was very collective.
So they don't have one big closet that I can go root through?
Well, I mean, they've got, like, all sorts of stuff around. Like, you find a what could be considered, like, maybe, like, work coveralls that, like, as you start to put it on, it starts to collapse down and kind of, like, wraps around like your like little like EV suit that you've got on to almost become like a second skin. But as it does so, there's obviously like other appendages that it's expecting. And so like, it's just the appendages that it's expecting are just like flapping there as it's trying to fit. And it sort of looks like the, like, you know, the airman that car dealerships have that has all of the awesome moves.
Waving inflatable arm flailing tube man.
Exactly. Like, so, yeah, you take it off and it's, you know, it like, I mean, this thing by itself would be an incredible find.
A confused wardrobe.
Well, I think that the thing that I'm now most interested in is trying to find out anything that would give us any indication of what happened, where they came from.
Oh, do they have cleaning supplies? If they use water for cleaning, that might be an indication that water is like the main thing as opposed to like their ecosystem based off something else.
That's a great question. Unfortunately, the answer to that question is going to have to be put on hold as you hear blaster fire coming from an adjacent room.
Ah, shoot.
Literally.
Exactly. Shoot. So yes, there is blaster fire coming from from another room. What's the collective response to that?
I'm going to start heading towards that room.
Sorry, Craig, could you repeat that?
I just said it sounds like someone started a party and didn't invite us.
How dare they?
All right, so you head up. You head over to the other door, like the airlock. You press the gray panel to open up. Is everyone filtering into the airlock to have it shut behind you and then go into the other room, or like?
Sure.
Okay, just
Yes.
Just making sure. As you open up the door, you see what is obviously like an equipment room. Like there's all sorts of like cargo stuff. So like crates and barrels and crates and barrels. You know, lots of fancy glasses, fancy bedding. No, different crate and barrel. Just equipment laying around. There you see that there are behind, like basically kind of like a wall of crates are about like a half dozen mercenaries shooting back against some what are apparently automated defenses that have decided to just kind of go on the attack. So I am going to go into Roll20 and I'm going to put out some tokens to represent what's going on. Let me see if there's anything. Nope, we're going to stay on the board we're on. So let me close that. Move that. I'm going to remove Augur and Gunner because we don't need that. Wait. That's weird. Okay. Let me look for tokens. Or I don't need ships or handouts. GM characters might be nice. Nope. So let's look at marketplace purchases. Band of Blades. That's the right one, right? I'm just going to put out some tokens as we have some people fighting. I'm trying to choose a face that isn't one of your characters, because a lot of this art is your characters. There's a lot of art. You know what? I like this face. All right, we're going to put that one out. And then we're going to put out this smug D-bag. Going to put out a few of these. We're not actually going to use this as a battle map. I'm just using these tokens to represent like what's out so that we have a visual manifestation of what's going on. And then do we have robot faces. Oh, I bet I... Nope, no artwork for it. Excuse me. I appreciate everybody's patience.
I think, Randy, before you get started with the combat, I think I'll make my exit just so that it makes things easier. But let me know when when you're set, and then I'll say my goodbyes.
Sure. I will put out... I need a robot. There's no good robot, so I'm just going to put down a ship to function as automated defenses. Give me just a moment. And that one. All right, Craig, I've got everything out here. I'll describe it after you make your goodbyes.
Okay. So let me just say thank you to you for running and everyone else for joining, and go have fun blasting mercenaries and robots.
It was nice to meet you.
You too. And how do I exit from Roll20 so that you have me off your
You know what? If you just close out the window, eventually you will just disappear.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Craig, thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you had a great time. It was wonderful to play a game with you. I really appreciated it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and I look forward to it for the next time.
All right. Cool.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi.
All right. It is just us. Let's talk about what's going on here. Let me zoom in on the board. So I need to give some of these things labels that you can see. Roll20 does not like me today. Defense bot. Can you see the label defense bot underneath the yellow ship?
I cannot.
That is what I figure.
I can.
You can. So one says defense bot, one says defense emplacement, the two tokens underneath the hero tokens. You can see them or cannot?
I cannot.
No, I cannot. I saw the
okay.
tokens, but not the labels.
All right. I always have trouble with this. I want you to be able to see the nameplate. Why wouldn't it just show you the nameplate? Roll20. All right. I'm just going to say that this is controlled by all players. And then you should be able to... Wait. Oh my god. They hid permissions. Oh my god. Now you can see defensive. Yeah, which is misspelled, but I'm going to leave it.
I didn't want to say anything.
It's okay. And that's not true. I'm not going to leave that. It is not a defense. Now it's a defense. No. Defense. All right. Cool. All right. So the situation that you have in front of you are you've got basically each one of the smiling D-bags in the lower right-hand corner represents two of the irregulars, two of the mercenaries. The woman in the trucker hat, you actually recognize her as someone named Iron Jane. She is a former Stellar Republic combat pilot who skipped out on her duties almost 20 years ago and has been in business for herself ever since. She is charming, resourceful, and a natural leader. Excuse me.
Shoot her first.
What's that? What a first?
Shoot her first.
Shoot her first. The two, they are squared off against some AI controlled automatic engagement bots that basically the ship has. One is a defense bot and another is a defense emplacement. The defense emplacement is literally like basically a gun turret mounted to the wall. And the defense bot is actually it's actually able to move around and make attacks. So this is the situation that you find yourself in right now. We are going to go into initiative. And the way that we're going to do initiative is that we are going to do it like elective action order, I think is the official name for it. It's also called popcorn initiative. It's also been called like Balsera style initiative. If you're not familiar, what it is one person is going to go first, and then that person gets to choose someone else to go. And it continues until everyone, including the opponents, has had a turn. Then at the start of the next round, we start that over again. So basically what this means is that, person A gets to choose person B, chooses person C. In this particular setup, all of the D-bags count as one character for initiative purposes. Iron Jane counts as a person for initiative purposes, and each of the defense automations counts as a person. So the emplacement and the bot are separate on initiative. Does that make sense to everyone, or does anyone need a further explanation for elective action order initiative?
Sounds good.
Got it.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Great. All right. So, coming right out of the airlock doors, you encounter this. And I have to say, Squid, this is super exciting. This makes this mission worth it. Like all of the bullshit that you gave your commanding officer when you were assigned to go check out an asteroid, like you're going to have to eat crow when you get back, but this is totally worth it. You get to go first.
Great. It's kind of funny is that I'm sitting here thinking, is this a situation where I want to just see what happens between these two? Because and I'm also curious about what they did to trigger that. That could be useful information. So I'm a little hesitant to just jump in firing at the moment as much as I want to.
I've got good investigate, so we could potentially see how the robots operate, and I don't think that'll come back to bite us because, if they're fighting each other, they're not fighting us.
Well, here's the thing. You're entering the scene, so the bots are probably going to pick up on you unless you're sneaking around, trying to go undetected. Because that's kind of the scene that you're in. So that's entirely up to you collectively. But right now, Squid, are you going to try and sneak around, investigate? What do you want to do?
I would think I would like to. I want to scope out what's going on right now. I want to kind of get into position, maybe hide out a little bit, get into a good firing position. If I can find some cover, I can get behind, the spot that I can spot nearby.
If there's a convenient chest-high wall.
It sounds like a great creative advantage. And also sounds like a tactics to me. So go ahead. I'm going to set the difficulty for this at a 3 because there's all sorts of gunfire going back and forth. But there's also a lot of stuff to hide behind. So let's see. That is a 1 against a difficulty of a 3. That does not create the advantage. You can choose to. If you spend a fate point, you could.
That still makes it even.
That's just
at a cost, right? Yeah, boost. Yeah.
No, we can't do success at a cost with create advantage.
Yeah, that's overcome.
Yeah,
that's a tie. Yeah, I remember now.
Yeah,
it's been a while. I think I'm just going to have to let it fail, unfortunately.
That's quite unfortunate. I'm sorry. Animal cookies.
Such is life.
Indeed, indeed. So Squid, who goes next?
I will pass it off to our to Thermic, our officer.
All right, Thermic, it's your turn.
Well, I'm gonna investigate because I've got pretty good investigate stuff. Where's my? I'm gonna tab through and find my character sheet.
Yeah, your investigate's a +3.
Got +3 to investigate, and high performance data pad investigate may maximize 1 die and all investigate, overcome, or create advantage actions. So, and plus I'm a tactician, so if I can kind of determine if there's any AI that I can kind of notice a pattern to create an advantage for Nock, who is the tech guru man.
Okay. Yeah, you can absolutely.
If there's a possibility to deactivate these or to work around, them shooting us or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. Go ahead and roll investigate. I'm going to give this difficulty of 3.
Let me see my. Oh, that's a 2.
All right. So would you like to just accept the failure, or do you want to spend a fate point?
Yeah, I'll spend a fate point.
What aspect are you going to use to justify that improving this?
Sorry, I've got canonical maneuvers or tactics. May I use tactics rather than pilot? No.
Aspects. It's in the right-hand column at the top. Sorry. So for instance, like I'm going to spend an aspect on I want Squid's respect desperately to like try and find a way to make Squid shine in this moment. Would be an example of paying a fate point to paying a fate point on that aspect to increase your roll to a 4.
Yeah. If I can create a boost for that.
Sure. Go ahead and remove one of the fake cards. Actually, I'll go ahead. Let's see. I can steal card, and you just have to approve that. Great. So now you're down to 2 fate points. You got a 4 result, and that creates an aspect. What do you want the aspect? So what you notice is that the AI, the defense bots, basically. If you notice that they don't start firing until you've like left the airlock. So for instance, Squid, like the defense bots haven't like shot anything your direction until Squid took a step out. So you believe that the defense bots like can be like manipulated by like if you leave the room, they may not follow. So, the AI is playing defense. Okay. So, for instance, and I put a free invoke on it there, that the AI is just playing defense. Like, I mean, they're definitely out to kill you, but they just want to make sure that you don't get past the point where you're at right now. Like, this is obviously an area that you have to have some kind of security clearance for, and you don't have the security clearances for it. Does that make sense?
Yep.
All right, groovy. Who goes after Thermic?
I think it's Nock.
Now, do remember you can choose the bad guys as well. I will advise you that if a bad guy goes last...
Yeah, that can go twice, right?
Well, yeah, and they might pick all bad guys to go at the top of the next round, so that would be a big cluster.
I'm gonna choose the bots.
I choose the bots. All right, the defensive bot is going to go What is the defensive bot going to do? Let's see.
Is it gonna shoot?
I mean, it seems very likely, right? Let's see. It is... Yes, it is going to shoot. And it is going to, let's see, it noticed a second person arriving. It is going to, I was going to have it shoot at Squid, but Chris is not here. So I'm going to actually have the defense bot is going to create advantage, and it is going to maneuver into a more advantageous position. I'm going to set the difficulty for this at a 3, because I don't think that any of you are really in the position to kind of block the AI, like physically from getting in a better position. So I'm going to roll 4df plus its athletics and get a 3, which is what the difficulty is, which means that the AI just has a boost. So that's okay. I'll mark it as such. All right. The defense bot is going to choose... goodness. Oh. Let's see. Actually, looking at the game board, I'm just going to have one of these guys represent the people there, because they're actually not going to go. They're just going to be providing support fire for Iron Jane. I'm going to make Iron Jane go next. What's Iron Jane going to do? Iron Jane is going to say, I am so happy to see someone else here. They have us pinned down. We could really use your help. And Iron Jane is going to attempt to create an advantage of help your fellow human. And it seems to me that the appropriate person to defend against that is going to be Thermic, since Thermic is seems to be the one who's kind of like pushing the leadership here. So Iron Jane is going to be making a rapport roll to try and create advantage. And basically, is Thermic trying to push back against her, like saying, hey, we need your help. We're so glad you're here. Help us out. Are you leaning into that, or are you like opposing that?
I'm gonna lean into that, but I'm gonna make it clear it's like a situational, like, okay, we're gonna deal with this, but we're not your friends.
Sure. All right. I'm gonna go ahead. Then
Didn't come here to make friends.
And chew bubblegum.
We're allies, not friends.
They're all out of bubble. All right. Then you don't need to roll to oppose that. I'm going to set the difficulty for this at a 2. Let's see. Her rapport is a 4. It's true because it rhymes. That makes it a 3. So, indeed, there is now an aspect on the board of... what is it? Help us, we're humans too, with a free invoke on it. And I'm going to move that down here next to them. So Iron Jane says, "Thank you. I really appreciate your help. We're in a bit of a bind."
We're gonna have a strong talk after this, though.
Oh, I'm sure we're gonna have some kind of conversation. And I'm going to pass
strong talk.
And I'm going to pass it to who hasn't gone yet. It was... Oh, Nails has left the game. It is Knock who needs to go, because Knock and the defense emplacement have not gone yet. Knock, you get to go.
So I'm just going to shoot at the defense bot
All right.
Because at the end of the day, you can more easily repair a bot than you can repair a human if worse comes to worse. So I'm
It's going to
presuming
have a knock-on effect.
is that just? Oh,
Sorry.
I just got that. It took me a second. I presume that's gunnery again.
Yes, gunnery. You are. Well, actually, no. It's shoot.
Oh yes, shoot. Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
See that now. Cool. And I'm going to use that advantage that Thermit created for me. The AI is playing defense one.
I'm sorry. Repeat.
Can I use that that aspect that was created?
The AI is playing defense. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but
Cool.
you don't need to declare it until after the roll. And
Oh.
also, oh, my headphones literally just died.
No.
So, give me just a moment. I swear I powered them up. Someone say something for me?
Hello.
Okay, great. Thank you. That sucks. All right. All right, so that was a 3 on your roll. I need to defend. It is going to use athletics to defend. The defense bot is going to defend with a 3. So that is just a boost to you, Knock, unless you'd like to do something else.
I would like to then use that aspect. The AI is playing defense.
All right. Tell me how you use it against the AI.
I use it to confuse it by stepping out of the room very slightly so that it lowers its guards against the direction that we are in.
Yeah.
And then the second it does that, I then spring back in and fire off a shot at it.
Excellent. All right. That is going to do 2 stress to it.
So you're going to cheese the AI?
Yep.
Excellent. All right. I've marked off some stress there. Good.
Years of
good
playing
stuff.
Skyrim come into practice.
All right. Who goes next? Knock. I guess it's just the defense emplacement goes next because it's the only one that hasn't gone. Let's see the defense emplacement. It is going to shoot. It is actually going to. It is going to try and it shoots out a net at Squid. Squid, since you were the first one through the door, it's trying to shoot you with a net. You can defend with athletics or something else that you can justify. And it is going to roll. It gets a 3 result. Christopher?
I'm sorry. You see, could you say that again? I was distracted for a slice. Like, I apologize.
Sure, that's okay.
Sorry.
That's all right. That's absolutely all right. So, so when you came through the door, one of the things that happened is that the defense emplacement shot a net at you, and it is trying to create it. It's trying to basically engulf you in this net. I rolled a 3 on the create advantage roll.
Okay.
So you have to defend against that, or not.
Defending
you can just
against that.
say you're
Oh,
getting
it'd probably be what would that?
athletics, probably.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's going to happen, but I can roll to see.
Yeah, give it a whirl.
No.
Ooh, yeah, that's bad. And your athletics is a +0.
Yes.
Okay. Well, yes, you are indeed then caught in a net.
Well, that is a way to catch squid.
Hey, there we go. I'm going to just say entangled. And I'm going to move that next to you, Squid. So right now you are wrapped in just a crazy net. And so, like, you are entangled. That aspect of entangled applies to, like, narratively, it implies to Squid. So that was the defense and placement's turn. The defense and placement is going to pass it because it is an evil entity back to itself. Because that's the thing that you can do with elective action order, which is very evil. And it is going to shoot at Thermic. It is just going to attempt to actually. You know what? It's going to attempt to shoot Iron Jane. Because she's still fighting it. That is going to be a +3, which gives it a result of 2. And Iron Jane is going to... Iron Jane is going to suck at this. But yet not suck at it. And instead defend with style. But the defensive placement is going to spend its boost. So that is going to... That was just shooting at it. She defended. It's no longer defend with style. The defensive emplacement did not strike Iron Jane. It came close, but it turns out like she was able to stay out of the way. And that's good. So the defense emplacement is going to pass it to Knock.
I'm going to just take a shot at the defense bot again.
Okay.
As I've already done a bit of stress to it. So just get out my character sheet. And let's give this another roll.
All right. And it is going to defend. It defends. Oh, man. All right. That is another 2 stress hit, unless you want to spend any fate points.
Yeah.
Iron Jane would also allow you to spend the free invoke on Help Us We're Humans too.
I don't want to take all of the free invokes though, and I've still got 3 fate points, so I'm just going to use a fate point.
All right. Go ahead and spend your fate point. What aspect are you using to justify that?
I am using... I'm going to fall back on my old faithful of the Squadron's conscience, and we want to make sure that people aren't dying on our watch unless absolutely necessary. So therefore, I can't have it on my conscience to see these folk in front of us, Iron Jane and the others, gunned down mercilessly by robots, without, at the very least, finding out what's going on their part. Again, I mean, obviously we were attacked by the guys in the ships. However, this Iron Jane, obviously we do know her by reputation, and she seems a lot more cooperative than the others did. So that spurs me on to fight harder.
All right, that makes it a 4 stress hit. And the defense bot is not looking good. It's still up, but it's not looking good. So great shot. Knock. Who goes next?
I'm going to pass it to Squid to see if Squid can get out of the net.
Okay, yeah. Can I use notice to try to look for where the net closed to try to find the opening so I can work my way back out of this thing again?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and give that a go. I'm going to set the difficulty for that at a 2.
And can I also use my augmented spec for maximizing 1 die on a notice?
Let me take a look at the stunt. Yes, you can.
Okay. And does that roll automatically do it? I guess. Oh, that just prints it out. It doesn't actually roll, does it? Okay.
No.
So.
No, but those little buttons to share stuff like that is really handy.
So. So that's
All right.
not, there's not an option on there to maximize it. So that would take one of the zeros and make it to a plus and make it
Yep.
that a 4. Is that right?
That is correct. That is correct. So the difficulty was 2, so that is a success. However, I'm going to spend the free invoke on entangled to make that, instead of a 4 against a 2, it is a 4 against 4, which means that you will not get rid of the aspect of entangled unless you decide that you're going to spend another fate point on something to try and get out of this entangled.
I'm not sure there's I'm not sure there's really a good aspect to justify that for what's actually out there right now.
Well, so here's where here's where being a good bullshitter helps with fate. It's a matter of taking the aspects and stretching their meaning and finding good narrative reasons for it. So to give you some examples, you could spend a fate point on the AI is playing defense, to say that, like, basically, like, you kind of like manage to, despite being entangled, kind of like crawl back into the airlock, which means they're no longer targeting you, which makes it easier. So you can spend a fate point on that. You could use the free invoke or spend a fate point on help us. We're humans too, because, like, if you're captured, you're not able to help everybody against these, like, ancient alien bots. Your aspects, you're a grizzled veteran back for one last job. This is not how you die. Like, no, you're going to die like the day before retirement.
Yeah, I think I'll do that one. The grizzled veteran.
Sure.
I'll spit it on with that.
All right. Yeah, this is not how you
Yeah,
die. You
this is
die a
not-
day before retirement.
There we go.
All
Now
right.
I'm pointless.
There you go. All right.
And that's not the first time it's been said about me. No.
Well, won't be the last either. I mean that in a very friendly banter way. All right. So, entangled. You are no longer entangled. You are inside of the airlock. You've managed to throw off the net, and roaring to go. But it is not your turn now. Who goes next, Squid? Knock has gone, and the defensive emplacement has gone.
Let's pass it to what's her name with the hat? The Jane, is that right?
Iron Jane, yes.
Iron Jane.
All right. Good call. Let's see. Iron Jane. Let's see. What is she gonna do? You know what? Since she is going to she is actually going to attempt to create the aspect. She's going to kind of like tell her crew, like, you know, yeah, the what is it? The pilots have a good idea. We should back out of here. Let's grab what we came for and roll back out. She wants to create an advantage of moving towards the exits, to basically like move out of this room so that the bots stop attacking. She is going to try to create that advantage of like, all right, yep, grab what we got, and we're just gonna get on out of here. So she's going to attempt to create that advantage with rapport. She is good with rapport with her crew. So that is, I'm going to set the difficulty for this at a 3. And she got a 7 result. So, that created the aspect back out while we can with a free invoke. And basically, like, her crew starts like grabbing some of the like satchels and boxes and kind of starts like, like moving things back the way they came, which is a separate airlock from the direction that you came.
Suddenly a flaw in my plan.
And so that was her turn. Let's see. The defense bot and Thermic haven't gone. I'm going to have the defense bot go. The defense bot is going to, let's see, she's withdrawing. Squid is in the airlock. Let's see, Nock, you've been attacking the defense bot. The defense bot is going to turn its attention to you. It is going to attempt to shoot you. So a couple of like blaster bolts blaster fire comes out your way. You can defend with athletics, please.
Athletics.
I got a 4 result.
Oh, hang on, I accidentally closed my character sheet. Where am I? There I am. Right, pop that back out. Character sheet. I'm just wondering if there's any way I can... No, that's fine. Okay, my athletics is good anyway. Not good enough, apparently.
Well, that is 1 point of stress. So the way that stress is handled, this is the first time we're handling stress for you, Henry.
Yep.
I'm going to pop up Nock's character sheet off screen. So the way that this works is actually, you know what? I should put that on screen since I'm going to talk through it. Hold on. Let me open up Nock's character sheet. Oh, that's art. That's handouts. Characters. Player characters. Nock. All right, so on your character sheet, on the right-hand side, there's a section called stress, and underneath that, there's a section called consequences. Okay?
Yep.
Fate does not have hit points. Fate has stress, and it has consequences. Basically, these are... so damage is referred to as stress, and stress and consequences are stress absorbers. So what that means is that whenever you take the 1 point of stress like you do, you can choose to either use your stress boxes, bless you, you can use your stress boxes to absorb that, which stress resets whenever a scene changes. So that's pretty fluid. Consequences are a little bit more long-term. So mild, moderate, and severe absorbs 2, 4, or 6 points of stress. And when you absorb stress with these consequences, an aspect goes into play to represent the harm or the drawback that you've suffered. Now, so that could be like shot in the shoulder. It could be wounded ego. It could be anything that represents like the stress that you took and the situation that you got it. In this instance, the recommendation would be to just mark one of your single stress boxes, the like one that you've got dozens of, and that's kind of the end of that. But I wanted to make sure that you had an explanation of how that worked, despite it just being 1 point of stress.
So that's marked now.
Yep. All right. So after Nock is the defensive emplacement, because Nock went last. Or no, the defensive emplacement went, and now who hasn't gone this second round?
Defense bot and then Thermic, wasn't it? Defense bot just went, and now it's Thermic.
All right, Thermic, you're up.
Can I help Squid out of the net?
Squid's already out of the net.
Okay. Because I think
Thank you.
worried I'd have to fish him out.
Hey.
Anyway, I'm going to see if I can follow Iron Jane.
Oh, okay. So basically you're going to try and follow them. They are actually going to oppose you doing that. Because this is where Iron Jane is like, as you like start walking their way, Iron Jane is like, oh, no, that's quite all right. We'll go our way and you'll go yours. We really appreciate all of the help that you've given us.
We still need to have that talk.
I'm sure that we will. And she,
Now.
so she is going to oppose you trying to get close to her with shoot. So you're still trying to like go the direction that she's going?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then
That's gunnery?
No, gunnery is for ships. She's defending
Let's shoot.
Yeah. So basically like The question is how are you approaching this? Are you trying to shoot your way over to her? Are you trying to like provoke your way over to her? Are you trying to use athletics and tuck and roll to get over there?
I've got tactics.
Tactics doesn't. I don't think tactics would work to get you like over there. I think athletics would be the one to kind of get you to that position. If you're trying to like physically do that. So this will be opposed by her shoot, which what is her shoot? Oh, that is a terrible roll. I'm sorry. That is also a terrible roll, but
Can I spend fate points? Because I've got some fate points.
yeah, go ahead. I'm still sitting on 2 myself.
I think I have 2 as well.
Well, so
Or did I only have 2 to begin with?
no, you had 3 to begin with. You spent 1. Yes, you spent 1. So here's the question you need to ask yourself. And I'm not saying this to dissuade you from anything. I'm saying this just for information purposes. I rolled all 4s and I have a +5 to my skill. If you chip in a fate point, I can guarantee, I'm telling you, I will chip in a fate point for a reroll, which will most likely get me a 5 result. You have 3 minuses, which is a good place for a reroll for you as well. But the difference in our skills, like, it depends on how hungry you are to have this happen. And again, I'm not making a value judgment. I'm just pointing out to make sure that you understand. Let's do it. Let's do it.
So that's the second -4 that you've rolled on the dice this game.
Christopher? Shh. Apparently I'm terrible at rolling. I know. And statistically, like, there's a less than 2% chance of that happening on every die roll.
181 for a single -4.
Yeah. Yeah. So Thermic, how bad do you want it?
I mean, I've got 2 fate points.
I do too.
I'm going to spend them.
All right. I'm going to spend... well, what aspect are you using to justify your spend first?
Let me look at my character sheet.
And there's also the ones that are on the board, too.
The bots are playing defense,
Yeah.
so they won't... Is she already through the airlock, or is
No.
she...
No, she's not through the airlock.
Can I shoot the airlock door to keep her in the room so that she has to go out through our exit?
That would be changing your action to a create an advantage, and I love it.
I'm going to do that.
All right. I am going... Oh. She is still
Because
opposing...
Then she'll still need our help.
Yes. Okay, so these rolls will represent that create advantage because she's still like pushing back, trying to get you to not shoot the door. So that the AI is playing defense. You can use your fate point in this instance probably to re-roll. And I'm going to spend one of my fate points to re-roll. And I should actually only have 2, so I'm getting rid of another one. All right. I'm going to re-roll. Son of a bitch. But I'm spending my free invoke with back out while we can. As some of my crew has already managed to make it to the airlock, bringing me to a 4 against your 4. And so that makes your gain a boost, but the door is not locked, like blastered shut. You don't create your advantage, but you get a boost, unless you're willing to spend another fate point.
I will. I'll do it.
All right. Well, here, I'm going to steal your, the one that you just spent. What aspect are you using for the second time? You can't use one that's been used before in this particular exchange.
Let me find. Yeah, I have so many tabs open.
I know. My screen is just a crazy amount of like things.
Hmm. I know the rules and how to break them. For ambitious Republic officer here to keep tabs on the squadron. If I'm, or am I looking at stunts?
No, you're looking at aspects, and like the ambitious Republic officer, like that part of it, absolutely would fill into this. You're like, no, you're not getting out of here because I want a promotion. So that is a
I've just noticed my webcam crashed. I am still here.
Okay, all right. Well, at least your face doesn't look weird.
I don't know, that's kind of weird.
All right, so with that, you're going to create your advantage because I'm not spending my last fate point on that. Doors won't open.
Yes!
It technically has a free invoke on it. I don't know how you would use that, but that has narratively blocked their escape route. So back out while we can goes away. Actually, no, it stays, but it just means that they're like not going that direction. Shit. All right. So Thermic, you ended the round. You get to pick who goes first in the third round.
I'm going to see what Iron Jane does.
Oh, man. What is she going to do? Iron Jane is going to, she begins yelling at her crew. She's like, get those doors open, get those doors open now. You do not want to serve jail time. And you do not want me to be in jail with you. As she basically like disciplines her crew to like get a crowbar and crack those doors open. She is trying to use discipline to get her crew to overcome the aspect that you created, doors won't open. So the doors won't open aspect. I'm going to set this difficulty at a 4 for them to open up, or for her to get them to open. So let me do that. She rolled a 5. So unless somebody decides that they want to spend a fate point, doors won't open. The doors will become opened. Now, Essie, you can actually spend the free invoke on doors won't open to make this more difficult for Iron Jane.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Sounds good.
Because I don't want her to get away, because we're going to have to, otherwise I feel like we're going to have to chase her down, and that's just a hassle.
Right? All right, so let's see. So that was 5 against 4, and then now it's 5 against 6, so she fails. I have 1 fate point left. I know it says 2. That's just because I keep stealing yours, Essie, to represent you spending them. I'm going to... I'm going to use or invoke one of her aspects, which is what is it? Pragmatists survive to spend the loot, and that I'm going to spend my last fate point on to take me to a 7 against a 6 to get rid of doors won't open.
Can I jump in and use one of my fate points?
Damn it! Yes, you can, Henry. Yes, you can.
Yes, I'm going to invoke us. The doors but open has already been used as a justification, hasn't it?
Well,
you're a tech guy. You can screw up the computer more that does the airlock.
That is a good shout. Yes.
Well, there's not an aspect that represents that. He's good at technology as the skill, but there's not an aspect. I will say that doors won't open. The free invoke has been spent, but you can spend 1 fate point on it as well in this situation.
Oh,
So
I
if-
can. Sorry,
you-
I thought
you
it was
can.
if it had already been invoked. I couldn't use it for a
There's
fate
a-
point.
there's-
Okay.
Yeah, you can invoke and spend a fate point on the same aspect. It's one of those like little fiddly bits.
Yeah.
I didn't explain it until it came up now. So, but yeah, you can spend a fate point on it if you'd like.
In that case, I'm spending a fate point on it to keep those doors shut.
All right, so that means that the doors won't open stays. So yeah, that's awesome. Great job. All right, so no, really, that was awesome. I like that. So that was Iron Jane's turn. Iron Jane is going to choose the defense bot. The defense bot is going to target you, Knock. With shoot, you can defend with defend with athletics. And I got a 1 result against your 2 defense, and so no stress for you. Turns out the defense bot is just trying to target too many people at once. The defense bot will then pass it to, why not, the defense emplacement. The defense emplacement is going to, let's see, who has done something cool lately? The defensive emplacement is going to target Thermic, because Thermic is destroying stuff around here. Going to use its Netcaster again, and attempt to create an advantage of Entangled over you, Thermic. So you may attempt to get out of the way with Athletics. And I get a 4 result.
Let me just see.
All right. Neither of us have fate points, so you are successfully entangled.
Great.
Don't worry, I'm sure nothing bad will happen to you. All right, and the defensive emplacement is going to choose Squid to go next. Because I think that if Knock is the only one of the players who's gone. So, Squid, it's on you.
Okay, so
Have I been yet? I haven't been yet this round,
No?
I don't think. No.
Oh, we led with Thermic this round. That was what it was. Okay. It's still Squid, but Squid, and it'll then be Knock after that.
Yeah.
All right. What are you up to, Squid?
okay, and so I think the defense emplacement bot is being a real annoyance and shutting us down a lot with these nets.
Well, yeah, the defense emplacement has done that.
So I would like to. I'm going to actually shoot at the defense emplacement.
All right. Go ahead and give it a shot. It is going to defend against that. It is embedded in the wall, so it doesn't really dodge very well.
Oh my gosh, that's so terrible.
It is, but it destroys the defensive emplacement.
Hey.
Hey, good job. And
One was enough.
yep, the only one left is Knock.
I am going to just take a shot at the defense spot as well.
All right.
Oh, no, sorry, at the defense spot again, rather.
Yes. This thing is on its last legs.
Let's do it.
And it has quite a few legs.
Not according to the picture.
Well, yeah, there's that. And that is actually enough to take out the defense bot, too.
Gave it some legs.
Okay. I was going to remove it, but with that artwork, I will leave it. So yes, the defense bot, there's no more laser fire in the room. There's just now the Iron Jane and her irregulars and the 3 of you. They are behind some crates and stuff. We're out of conflict right now, unless we get back into conflict because of what happens. But for right now, we're just going to talk like people.
Okey-doke.
Iron Jane and her crew are kind of like behind some of this stuff. Some of the crew's still trying on the doors, but the doors they're not going anywhere. So Iron Jane says, so it looks like we're at a bit of a stalemate, doesn't it?
Time for a strong talk.
Hey, listen, I was looking forward to this conversation. I'm glad that
You
we're
were
both
not.
alive.
And
So
the
what are
funny
we
thing
gonna
is that
do
you say
here?
stalemate, but we say you're trapped in a room with us. So
We
This is
just saved your
true.
butts. You owe us a favor. You owe us several favors.
Well, here's the thing. There are 3 of you, and there are many more of us. So while you've got the better position in the room, we have more people and more firepower. I kind of call that a draw, and I'm willing to talk things out.
well, how about we begin by how did you come about this ship, asteroid, alien craft, whatever you want to call it?
Well, I mean, with all due respect, do you expect me to answer that honestly? Like, we
Well,
found
I
it
thought
and we
we
were here
were,
first.
If you
I
answer
thought
us
that we were gonna have a
honestly,
conversation.
Well, I mean,
we
I-
might help you out with a bit of dishonesty.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Like, we were the first people here. We managed to collect up, we've got some duffel bags and some, some self-moving crates that, we filled up with some goods and stuff. This is an incredibly large vessel and an incredibly amazing find. And I can tell you that, our theory is that it has an amazing, like, the amount of tech on this thing is just amazing. And so,
Yes, but you didn't have to move and touch everything.
well, we didn't touch everything. We've only been here for a couple of hours. So,
Yes, but you moved and touched a lot of things.
yes, but there's a lot of things that remain untouched. Like, we have no idea what's in the room that you came from. For all we know, like, that could have been the television room.
It wasn't a closet.
Well, good. I'm glad that it wasn't a closet. So here's what I think. I think that that we should like just make our exit and be on our way, and we don't need to like worry about anything.
How did you set up those defense bots?
Well, we entered the room and the defense bots started attacking. We have no idea what's beyond here. Like, that's all yours. That is yours, my friends. That belongs to you and the Dominion. And I bet you're all going to get promotions for having found this place. And I know from the radio that you've destroyed a couple of our ships. So you also look like heroes from stopping raiders from getting in here. So it's really a win-win-win.
Didn't stop all the raiders.
Well, I mean, that can be our secret.
When you moved and touched everything?
Well, I mean,
It's gonna be a hard secret to keep.
is it though? Is it really?
Yes. Yes.
I don't think it's going to be that difficult.
Do you know what archaeologists do? We're gonna have archaeologists in here.
Yes,
And they investigate. They investigate very, very, very minute details.
They do. And a lot of these blaster burns around here are from your blasters.
Because
So-
you walked into the room.
No, because
think-
you were fighting defense bots and all sorts of stuff that were in here. You were defending humanity.
I think what my colleague is trying to say is that what we've got here is an incredibly historically significant find, and that when we report back to the Dominion and when this is thoroughly investigated, it is going to be gone over with a fine-tooth comb. And you may be good at what you do, but as has been established multiple times, you have been moving and touching a lot of things in here, and that is going to be noticed when said fine-tooth comb is gone over this place. And now, do you really, 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 really want the Dominion breathing down your neck forever because of the looting that you did to said historical significant find? Because that's not really something that you're going to want hanging over you, is it? It's hard to be a free agent when you're not exactly free.
Well, here's the thing. Better to.
Especially since we know exactly who moved and touched everything.
Well, I mean, like the classic song goes, like just give me two steps, mister, 2 steps out the door. Let us begin our journey of running, and we'll see just how long we can run.
And just as an aside, I think this couple of mentions Dominion. Isn't Dominion a different, like the evil guys, not us?
You're right. We've been using the wrong term. I forget what the right term is.
Draconis.
No. That's it. They both start with a D. That's why. Okay, yeah.
I couldn't remember the right one either.
I'm fine with running from Draconis for a while. I mean, I'm wanted in several systems. I'm sure you know. My question is...
Oh, yeah, about that.
Yeah, well, here's my question to you. Like, what do you want? We can fight this out, and we can find out who lives and who dies. And what happens, we can figure it out with blasters, or we can figure it out with words. And so, I think at this point...
I'm okay with blasters.
So, I think at this point, the question comes down to, that I'm going to put to you as GM. As a GM, I'm going to put this question to you. Do you want... I will give you a chance to make an overcome roll, either talking your way through... Rapport seems to be the right way. Rapport or provoke. I can see you handling it either way. Or if you really do want it to come down to blasters, we can do an overcome roll with shoot and end up seeing, what happens there to kind of like resolve this conflict. Because it's, I took a moment to see how it would play out role-playing wise, and like, you guys are all on the straight and narrow, which Draconis is really happy about. That's why you're Tachyon Squadron, right? But that is not what Iron Jane likes. So my question is do you want to handle this with end up resolving this with blasters, or through provoke or rapport, or something else?
My vote is for overcome with rapport or provoke, but talking.
Yeah, I am completely, as a character, I'm completely, I think I would actually even literally say, I'm okay with shooting to Thermic, but, I would defer to Thermic's judgment on this. But I would actually, but I would say it aloud to let Jane know that that I don't have no problem with that.
Can we document what you plan to take?
No.
See, that could be a problem.
Yeah. So here's my question. Players to players, like, do we want to like resolve this? Because we're over time, and I apologize.
I was gonna say I am gonna have to think about shooting off soon because it's nearly 10 o'clock.
Yeah, and I want to take 10 minutes at the end. So my question now is just: do you want to like handle it with words or handle it with guns? And it sounds like everyone's deferring to Thermic. So Thermic.
Yeah, and I'm kind of thinking that at least try for intimidating with guns, and if that if that doesn't work, then maybe we have to actually use them. Is what I'm thinking. But what do you think?
Because I really kind of want to take Jane in.
All right.
Because that's a good way to get promoted.
Sounds like guns. All right. It's going to be...
I'm not going to let her go.
All right. One of you can be the primary to roll shoot, and then the other two will, through teamwork bonuses, provide a bonus of +2 to that person against Jane's shoot. The higher of the two will win. And obviously there are still some aspects and fate points that we have. So who wants to be the primary person rolling shoot?
I'm going to vote not it because my shoot is not very good. And also, like I say, I might have to skedaddle shortly. So that wouldn't be much help if I was primary.
Yeah.
I've got a not good shoot, too.
Apparently, I have a fair shoot. And I guess that's as good as it gets.
I guess that is. You get a +2 to this. So go ahead and make your roll.
Or do we want to wait until our other guy comes back and then have him shoot?
Oh shit! It's a tie. All right, you guys have 2 fate points. Someone's spending
I'm now going to spend one of mine.
All right. What aspect, Knock?
I'm going to use. That's a very good question. Hang on, I'm trying to. I'm heeding your advice. I'm trying to think which one I can bullshit best.
Well, I mean, Thermic's playing at something would be really good because, like, she keeps talking with Iron Jane, and like, you know.
Yeah,
like
that's
whatever...
a good shout. I'm going to assume that Thermic is onto something possibly here. She made the call, so I'm going to assume there's something bigger going on that she's got in mind, and use that as sort of a little boost to back up Squid as he shoots.
Awesome. And with that, the firefight goes down. No one is killed, but you manage to subdue everybody. And so everything is yours. None of them escape. And success goes to the Tachyon Squadron. Awesome job. All right. So that is Tachyon Squadron. I would like to do something that I do at the end of all of my games. It takes usually about 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. So, Henry, it shouldn't be too terribly long. But if you need to jet, I completely understand.
No worries. I'm good. 5-10 minutes.
Okay, great. I do an exercise that I call Wishes and Stars at the end of all of my games. Basically, it's a review of the game. Stuff that you either like wish had happened or wish could have gone differently. Or stars, moments that you really liked in the game and things that you enjoyed. So basically what this is just a way for us to kind of like look back on the game and like reflect a little bit. So if anyone has either wishes or stars, just shout them out when you have them.
So I would say a star is that I do really like how much that game this system is in general as well, but particularly the game we're playing. Sort of the encouragement to actually do things in character. You know, I think as I said to you before we started, I'm a big fan of role-playing games actually being role as in ROLE rather than ROLL. So I like that a lot.
Good.
I could say both. You know, like, well, kind of like 3 things I want to say.
Go for it. Go for it.
I say a star. I you know, I think I said it before, but I do like the way that the dogfighting combat works, and you know that system. I think it really does reinforce the whole dogfighting combat effectively, and so I like that part. Also, I liked Essie's interjections of puns. I'm an appreciator of puns.
Same.
Though also I didn't get a chance to on the I guess the wish is I kind of was looking for a chance to do the save us from young officers like Thermic, and I didn't really see a good opportunity to do this the self-invoke to get a fate point out of that.
Yeah, that lines up with my wish for this game is that that I didn't really have a chance to compel anyone. There wasn't a good moment to really compel. My personal thoughts on that is using pre-gens versus characters who are written for one-shot game day kind of makes the difference. Because whenever you're writing them together collectively, it sticks in the brain a little bit easier than pre-gens do, at least for me. Because like I was like rolling through the pre-gens in my little popped out window, kind of looking through and trying to think of like places to compel. But it was for me, it was really hard for me to find compels, which usually isn't the case. So but that would be my wish for today's session.
Oh, and I also wish I probably should change the relationship Gunner comes through to in a pinch to one that involves someone who's actually in the game.
There's that.
Okay. Stars and wishes. I really liked the mix of like non-combat role playing and combat. I think that was an excellent blend. And it's not often that you get, sessions that are both in good amounts. Wishes, I think for next time, I'd love to learn more about what's going on in the wider world. Like, what are the office politics of us, and like, what's going on back at our planet or space station or whatever, and how does that function? But that's not for this session. It's like for an upcoming something potentially.
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of like lots of like interconnected stuff like that. So I feel you. It doesn't fit into a one shot, but you acknowledge that. So, but yeah, great. Well, thank you all so much. I had a wonderful time, and I hope you did too.
Yeah, it was great.
I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Come along.
Excellent.
Yeah, thank you for running it.
Oh, my pleasure. Everybody enjoy the rest of your weekend.
That's the plan. Good
Awesome.
day.
Bye.